Yo, what up, what up, what up, and welcome back to Pnoid News. Man, listen, so we got a good one for y'all today. Listen, it's been a while since we made some goy slop. Let's keep this 100% honest here, right? Like, it's been a long time since we have, sat here and produced some red meat for the carnivores, right? So, like, I feel like it's about that time that we produce some red meat for the carnivores. So let's get into this like Piersmorgan debate, right, about trans athletes with Pierce, like this weird lesbian, this tranny, a 23-year-old who looks like she's like 40, and Andrew Wilson, right, who, like, I'll be honest with you, I'm not 100% that if I'm a fan of his or not yet. I don't really know, right, because he kind of sounds like Tom Likas from back in the day, and I'll be honest, that guy was kind of a piece of shit. So, like, listen, let's get into this.
It's not psychic ability.
You're just pathetic. Nobody's going to listen
argument.
to you. You're
Wendy,
an aggressive,
are you going to have an
insecure
argument?
man.
I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. This is going to go
seriously.
Well, this is going to go viral, and a lot of people are going to take me seriously, and all they're going to remember is that I told you that you couldn't put down the Dunkin' Donuts long enough to make an argument.
You all are fairly stupid. And everything that's being said is just like a comedy show.
You think you can change your sex? How can you ever call anybody stupid?
John Oliver stirred controversy this week by hosting a special on what he calls a right-wing obsession with trans athletes, in a large chunk of his once-a-week show, two talking about the same issue. Well, J.K. Rowling told him to read the effing room and shared a post which slammed his 45-minute special for claiming there's basically no advantage for male athletes and that men almost never beat women. On that same night, the UK Women's Pool Championship final was contested by two people who were born as men, not.
Yeah, literally, like, it was a billiard championship where, like, they had two biological males, right, competing as the number one and number two people, right, in the finals. And you're standing here going, like, I feel like somebody should be saying something about this. This is not a positive thing, right? But I mean, I really don't care about female sports because female sports are dumb to begin with. It's really just exercise for women, and maybe that's a reason we should keep it. You know what I mean? Like, you want to go with like Hergus or like fucking Play-Doh, that type of thing, right? You know what I mean? Where like females are, like, exercise, that type of stuff, so that they maintain the proper shape and have like people to look up, like other females to look up to go, oh, listen, that's what I'm supposed to look like. That's probably something we should do.
Women. So who is obsessed and who is right? Well, we'll debate that, and we'll debate this too.
A lot of these men, these podcast hosts on the right, that like to think of themselves as these big masculine men, and what am I getting out of it? I can tell you this.
There's that feminism.
All right, I believe
there's
I'm a woman of virtue,
coming
right?
out.
Yeah, there's the feminism. Oh,
I'm sorry. Did you?
Yeah, listen, let's keep this 100% honest here, all right? Tommy Lauren, like, in case motherfuckers didn't know, right? In case motherfuckers didn't know about Tommy Lauren, right? Like, yo, legit, this broad is legitimately an actual fucking feminist, like, for real.
I want to speak over a man.
Yeah,
inside of society, right this second, right? Masculinity is not only punished, but also women on the right, covert feminists on the right, are constantly and consistently talking about how they need to have privilege in society. Their version of masculinity is men who take care of us, men who protect us, men who do all of this. Those are all duties that men have towards women. Great. What are the duties that women have towards men?
Well, that became a breakout moment from our adolescence debate, and Andrew Wilson's chilling warning, of course, about the dangers of covert feminism. Well, we have a panel of feminists, covert and otherwise, to debate. The co-founder of Justice for Women and author of Lesbian, Where Are We Now?, Julie Bindel, the trans rights advocate, Stacia Underwood, the sports journalist and political commentator, Emily Austin, and the host of The Crucible, Andrew Wilson. Well, welcome to all of you. Julie Bindel, let me start with you with this whole issue of trans athletes in women's sport. I've been talking about this, as you have, for many years, and we've reached a point where the current president of the United States has basically announced a total ban on any trans athletes competing in women's sport, including the upcoming global events happening in the United States, which is great. But it seems to me utterly astonishing that we have John Oliver, who's a fellow Brit, who is on American television, and for 45 minutes seriously trying to argue that people who are born biological males have no advantage over biological females when it comes to sport? How can this still be happening?
It's utterly ludicrous. Either we have women's sports or we don't. Either we recognise that sports are segregated for good reason, or we don't, and we put everybody in together and then see what happens, which is like the bad old days when girls and women wouldn't come forward to compete, or they wouldn't join tournaments. Even if you look at something like poker, which Oliver was joking about, how can this be an issue? How can poker even be discriminatory? There's no strength involved. But the sexist environment.
Yeah, listen, all right. Like, this is, again, like pool, like chess, you know what I mean? Like math. Like, legitimately, these competitions are male and female, right? When you have, like, these, like, academic competitions, right? Because there is, like, literally a cup of gray matter difference between, you know what I mean, like, male and female anatomy. That's why, like, you know, dudes are, like, 6'1", you know what I mean? Like, and their heads are bigger than females, right? Our heads are literally larger than them. Just how that operates. Women's brains are literally smaller than men's. It's just what it is. Whether or not anybody likes to admit it, it's up to them. You know what I mean? Like, that's just a reality. They want to feel like they're as smart as males, right? Because, like, they socially are able to, like, you know, flip some shit around and go on, like, a table because, like, everybody around would agree with them, because you're not allowed to punch them in the fucking face. And every time you get at them, like, they stand here and go, oh my God, you know what I mean? Like, listen, why would you stand here and say these mean things to me? You know what I mean? That's just what it is. You know what I mean? Let's keep this 100% honest.
Of poker tournaments and what men would call joking and teasing and the like put many women off competing. And so let's just see what happens if we then decide that there should be no single-sex sports and that women's sports were ridiculous to start with, because that's what he's arguing.
Yeah. Stasia, look, as I've repeatedly made clear about my own position, which often gets completely misconstrued, as I think does Julie's, as I think does J.K. Rowling and everybody else. You know, my position is that I absolutely respect people who are trans. I respect people who are trans's rights to fairness and equality and safety. I want trans people to have the same fairness, equality and safety that I enjoy, or that my daughter enjoys, for example. So let's be clear about that. Nothing that I'm about to say is what some people try and frame it as transphobic, right? I'm not remotely transphobic. I am fully supportive of trans people's rights to lead the same life as the rest of us. However, and it's a big however, when it erodes, when the battle for trans rights to fairness, equality in particular, but also safety, when that erodes clearly women's rights to fairness and equality and safety, I have a big problem with that. And no place is this more glaring than in the sporting arena, where you see time and again now biological men who identify as trans, who were pretty unsuccessful competing against other biological men, and suddenly they're winning against women or taking Olympic places from women, etc., etc. And I think the UN came up with nearly 900. I mean, John Oliver tried to ridicule this, but nearly 900 medals around the world, I think in the last year, went to trans athletes in women's sport. This cannot be right. It's not fair. It's not equal. As we saw in the Paris Olympics, in the boxing ring, where you had boxers competing who were banned from the World Championships because they had reportedly male chromosomes, and you had women boxers quitting after 40 seconds because they'd never been hit so hard, genuinely fearing they might get killed in the ring. When it comes to this, we are now reaching, to me, not just an unfair and unequal place in this debate, but a dangerous place in this debate. What do you say to that?
I think it's difficult. I think that there's a lot of emphasis being put on trans people in sports specifically. I made it very clear, like, I am not here to spit facts or spew anything.
Yeah, we know. You don't actually know anything, right? I'm not sure why you're allowed on a panel if you don't actually know anything. I'll be honest with you, last night I got my ass kicked too. right? I was on Neurojack stream, and fucking Machine Lives came in and put me in my fucking place. He's like, bro, listen, you can't be over here telling Christians that, you know what I mean, things are platonic if you never read Plato. And I'm like, I feel like I can, you know what I mean? I probably shouldn't, but I can, right? You know what I mean? But like, I understand your point, you know what I mean? He gave me like a list of books. He's like, you read any of these? And I'm like, no. Right. And I was like, God damn it. That means I'm going to have to, like, you know what I mean, next couple of days go read like Plato's Republic and, you know what I mean, like fucking end up reading Nietzsche. And I'm have to do all this shit because, like, listen, I don't want to feel dumb again on a goddamn stream. You know what I mean? Like, it's fucking retarded. Like, I shouldn't, like, be doing that. You know what I mean? But, like, legitimately, yeah, like, no shit. You're not here to, like, spit fucking facts.
In terms of like statistics or anything like that, I have my lived experience as a trans person. I feel that there's so much attention being put on to this specific subject because what you guys really want underlying is the eradication of trans people and them to not be
based
involved in any system.
No, you see there, look.
I mean, like, these people don't, but, like, I'm fine with it. I'm gonna keep it 100. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, up against the wall. You know what I mean? Let's keep this all the way honest. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's keep this a beam. You know what I mean? The end of the day, right? Like, you know, like, yo, listen, we're gonna flip this motherfucker on, right? Yo, legit, yo, like, yo, let's keep this 100% real. You know what I mean? Like, yo, let's keep this 100% popping. You know what I mean? Like, yo, like, yeah. Yo, listen.
Look, Stassi,
that is the dumbest argument I've ever heard in my life.
Right, it's ludicrous. Where have you got that from?
Yo, I kind of want to know how much cocaine that chick did with the fucking fake blonde hair, right? You know what I'm saying? With the highlights and shit and the brown roots. I want to know how much cocaine you did, right? Because she's like a Jew, Italian, Armenian, something, right? Yo, legit. Like, look at that nose. You see that flat spot there? That is where, like, the scapula is motherfucking being destroyed, right? You know what I mean? Like, yo, every fucking coke dealer knows this person at the party is a motherfucker who, like, just shoves that straw right into their fucking brain, goes, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, legit.
Where's representation of a trans person to speak out for others?
I'm more so referring to
I just want to say.
I have seen certain
she's a
Jew, that you said.
Like, she's a fucking Jew. Yeah, look, she got a little star there. Yeah, it's a Jew. Right, 100%. Yeah, see, made sense. Makes sense now.
Pierce with, like, my friend Blossom and other trans individuals.
Yeah.
I was here with my friend, and we were hanging out, and we were at Starbucks, and we sat here, and we decided that this is what we wanted to say right now, okay? We feel like you're just trying to eliminate us, okay? Like, why shouldn't, like, biological males be allowed to compete against females? Like, listen, I suck dick better than other females do, right? Because I know what a man wants. Listen, shut up, bitch. Like, shut the fuck up.
Just feel the emphasis that is being put
And what was
on
transphobic? What have I ever said that could be remotely construed as transphobic or trans-hating or wanting to get rid of trans people? Ever. I challenge you right now.
Oh, you want to join Neurojack? Listen, I can open up the whatchamacallit, bro. Hang on a second. I will open up a Discord for you.
I'm just here to say that I feel that the issue that's being pressed is because it's a...
You just directed it at him. What are you talking? You directed it at him.
I think that the issue that is being put on trans athletes is a way to eradicate trans people.
But this is, with respect, this
Pierce,
is
can I
ridiculous.
interject for a moment?
In the 1960s and 70s,
There, it's open for you.
when feminists that came before me set up women's shelters, rape crisis centres, hospital wards, prison wings for women, recognizing that some men, not all, but a sizable minority, are a threat to women because sexual violence and harassment is a threat. We weren't told by men, not all of them were pleased, but largely they understood. We weren't told by men, you're trying to erase and eradicate men.
Yo, what up, man?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. What's going on?
Well, this is awesome.
Huh?
This is awesome that we can do this through Discord this way because I'm mobile. I'm out in the real world and I can say racist things on the internet. So,
yo, I feel you. Listen, like, I was listening to this on, like, Philly on, right before, like, while I was out. I went out for my my fucking daily exercise. You know what I mean? Like, I go out and I do like 2 or 3 miles or whatever every day, right? And I was out listening to this, and I was like, listen, I need to do this when I get back to the crib. You know what I'm saying? Like 100% I need to do this when I get back to the fucking crib. So, you know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean? That's kind of where I'm at right now, and that's like what we're doing at the second. Right? You're in the stream? Can you hear it in the stream?
I think so, yeah.
Hang on.
The vast majority of men understood what...
Can you hear it? You're good?
Yeah, it's doing good. Yeah, it's that's how I feel all the time. And this is recent, right? This is like 2 days ago. Interesting. Okay, cool. We'll see what they say.
Yeah, let's keep rocking.
Why we needed to do this. All we're doing is saying men, and you can call them trans women if you like, but men have no place in women's prisons, domestic violence shelters, and sports.
Well, wait a second. Hang on.
Okay, Emily, you want to do... yeah, Andrew, I'm going to come to you. Andrew, I'll come to you one moment. Just let Emily jump in on what you're about to say, I think, to Stasia. Making America healthy again is all the rage, and many people are inspired to put their fitness first again. That's why I'm excited to be working with Gym. If you're new to all this, the Get Jacked Up program offers full body video workouts.
I just think it's so infuriating because ultimately, I know many trans people, and I've spoken to them about, you know, playing in women's sports, etc. And the biggest...
Yeah, listen, look at that fucking tranny, son. Legit. Like, that is... Yo. Bruh. Why is it just not, like, up against the wall? You know what I'm saying? Like, legitimately. I don't understand. Let's keep going, though.
Issue they face is that they just want to be accepted. Now, if I was a trans woman and I just wanted to be accepted, I'm going to do the exact opposite of what you're doing. You want to paint all of these labels on you. You want to play identity politics. You want to play the victim, but you want it to be treated as if you're any superior. That's not equality. You receiving special treatment that does not make you equal but makes you superior to others is not looking to be included. It's actually making people detest your cause. It's making people think that you are a moron. And the way that you're trying to represent the trans community as a whole by just denying that there's a threat and being delusional about it is not helping the trans people. You're making people look at you from the outside and say, wow, they are out of touch with reality.
I think that the verbiage that you use in this statement is very clear on where you stand on trans issues.
Yo, have you noticed that, like, everybody who, like, is a college-educated person or part of, like, the upper-class elite is now starting to talk like a kindergarten teacher? Right? Like, they're all standing here, like, having these conversations as if they're talking to a fucking kindergartner. Right? Because I think that's how they...
It's funny, like...
Go ahead.
Oh no, I think it's funny. Like I'm actually literally in the middle of San Francisco right now, and everybody talks like that to each other. You know, I mean, not everybody, but a lot of the educated class. I mean, it's funny. Like if you ever date an educated woman, they talk to you like you're literally a fucking 5-year-old kid, and you're like, I'm a grown ass man. What the fuck are you doing? You know, and
well, that's
they like
this
that,
is,
but then you get tired of it, and then you move on. You know.
Well, yo, it's because they spent, I think, like fucking from 5 years old to like 24 in the education system, right? And so, like, this is how they think you're supposed to communicate with each other. You know what I mean? Like, it's literally like they actually are all like turning into kindergarten teachers, right? Because they think,
well, yeah, and then they can't get a man because then it's like no man wants to be talked to like he's 5 years old. So, you know, they'd literally rather go jerk off to porn than be talked to like they're 5 years old. I mean, that's just the truth, you know. So,
yeah, I mean, I feel you, right? I mean, I'm not 100% sure that is, you know, I mean, like where, you know, I mean, like,
you get the idea. The point is like these women make themselves undesirable. That's the point I'm trying to make. Like,
oh yeah, 100%, 1,000,000%. Like, you know, like, and we're gonna come up to this here in a little bit, you know what I mean? Because like I got critiques of Andrew Wilson, you know what I mean? Like 100% Andrew Wilson's ways of thinking, and just the whole red pill shit as a thing, right? I have a fucking squabble with like the whole shit, right? But let's keep going, you know what I mean? Like fucking, because like we got like 49 fucking minutes on this fucking video, it's long as shit. But I mean, we're doing a live stream. Let's enjoy ourselves.
I'm going to go back to my original point. You guys trying to take out trans people from sports is a way to eradicate trans people from public.
But we're not.
But
we're trying to eradicate lunatics like
nobody's
yourself.
does here. Stasia, nobody has said that. And this is what happens, if you don't mind me saying, what happens, the way that trans activists let themselves down, in my opinion, and you can respond to this, is that you try and shut down perfectly legitimate, in fact, urgently important debate by saying that anyone who dares to question this is transphobic and wants to get rid of trans people. I don't think anyone so far on this panel has said they want to get rid of trans people or anything like it. And yet you keep saying you people all want to get rid of trans people. Why do you believe that? Where have you got that from? You cite my interviews with some of your friends, but where have I said anything remotely that could be construed as transphobic? I don't get it.
I think the verbiage that was being used, it's very clear you guys stand on all trans issues.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
So what is the solution for the trans people that are playing sports? What's the solution for them? We're just supposed to kick them out all entirely?
Let me give you the solution. Let me give you the solution. The solution's very straightforward. Almost all of them competed against biological men like themselves before, but they did it far less successfully. So you either go back, trans women athletes either compete against their biological sex, or you create an entirely new category for trans athletes. What you don't do is allow them to destroy the integrity of women's sport, which is what is happening. So it's very straightforward how you solve this. I don't want trans people to be banned from playing sport. I just want them to be banned like I did with the dopers when they were cheating in sport. I want them to be banned from utilizing an unfair advantage. It's simple as that.
I think
Can I ask her a question? Would you think it's fair if Novak Djokovic identified as a woman and then played Serena Williams in a tennis set? Do you think that that would be fair to Serena Williams, who worked her whole life to become a star tennis player, just to get swept by Novak, who's the #1 men's tennis player? I just want to know if you think that that's fair.
Yeah, I just think that the question is ridiculous because
How is the question ridiculous? Like, how is that a ridiculous question? That's a legitimate question, right? Like, I mean, I would have put it differently. You know what I mean? I'd been like, listen, how would you feel if, like, Brock Lesnar identified as a woman and went and competed in the fucking female Olympics, right? Do you think any woman would be okay with, like, him standing here, you know what I mean, like, wrestling against them in the Olympic matches? Like, do you think that would be something that, you know what I mean? I'd pay to see it because it'd be fucking hilarious, right? It'd be the funniest thing ever. I would never see, I'd go ahead.
Well, I think, you know, I'll give the trans advocates some credit here. You know, they are definitely advocating for a Pol Potian authoritarian government. The problem is like once they get that, you know, Pol Pot ain't gonna deal with it. So, you know, that's the kind of irony that is the kind of I see.
What do you mean? What do you mean, like Pol Potian government? What do you mean, like you? What do you
what I mean is like they're basically saying that we want to impose ourselves upon you. You have no choice. You can't resist. But then if there's a government that comes into existence like that, like it'll self-destruct. See what I mean? Like they're trying to impose their will upon others. But if that actually does come to pass, that's not going to work out very well for someone dependent on hormones and surgeries to exist, right? Like, is Pol Pot gonna steal from the rich and give it to the trans or whatever? You know what I mean?
I mean, like, it's not super duper Pol Potian. Like, what it is, you know what I mean? Like, fucking. I'm trying to think, like, what the fuck? Like, because I don't remember, like, I don't have any example of an empire that would have done these type of things. You know what I mean? That would have been like, oh, listen, you know what I mean? You have to treat these motherfuckers with absolute respect. Like, because it's not like you're saying, like, oh, these people are upper class, right? You're just saying, like, listen, these motherfuckers have to be treated with respect, even though, like, it doesn't make any goddamn sense to do so, right? Like, it's like, the only fucking example is 1984 from Orwell. That's the only example that you could really get to of where, like, motherfuckers are just doing things and saying, like, you have to do this because, like, we say so and this is, like, how it's done. You know what I mean? And that's not Pol Pot. Pol Pot, like, went whole ham and just started murking people with fucking who had glasses or had academic ideas. He wasn't, like, forcing his, well, he was literally eliminating his competition. He was like, yo, fuck you if you don't fucking like what I say. You know what I mean? Just bow up against the wall, pussy. This is it. Helicopter rides for all. That's a whole different animal.
Why is it ridiculous?
It's not ridiculous at all.
I see how it's trying to be framed. I'm gonna keep going back to my original point. Your guys' excessive attention on wanting to remove trans people from sports and have them play in their biological sex, which makes no sense because even in John Oliver's interview,
or in their own category,
the category that would make sense,
or in their own category.
There's not enough of them to create a category. Like the percentile is so small.
Actually, there actually are an increasingly large number of trans athletes around the world. Actually, it's not true. Andrew, you've been waiting very patiently. Thank you.
You know what the real bitch is? If they created a trans athlete like league, women's sports would literally get no shine whatsoever, right? Because it'd be men and then trans and then fucking female. Because like, you would have like fucking people dunking and like fucking crossing motherfuckers over in like a female NBA league or a trans NBA league. Then the female NBA league would be like, yo, why are we watching this? There's literally like, there's male fucking NBA, trans NBA, and then college male NBA or college male fucking basketball. And then like, yo, why would you even watch females do it? Like they'd have no audience whatsoever. It actually might be better for them if they let trans females into like the fucking WNBA, like actual ones. You know what I mean? Like put LeBron James in a wig and shit. D-Wade. Yo, that'd be funny as shit.
This seems to me, this whole debate so far highlights the way this debate has been framed now for years, which is that any attempt to question what is obviously grotesquely unfair and unequal and indeed unsafe is branded transphobic, even when there's no evidence to suggest that the people saying it are transphobic.
Well, it's not just that. I mean, basically everybody in this panel is wrong. So to start with, this person says, well, you know, the thing is you just want to erase transgender people altogether, Pierce, and then says, I wasn't saying that. Pierce, I wasn't saying that you want to erase trans people, not you specifically, when clearly that's what you were saying. At least get behind the statements that you're making. The TERF starts out by saying, well, I've been here reinforcing women's rights this entire time, right? And then the TERF says, right on top of that, well, but, you know, poker's very misogynistic. She can't wait to dunk on men. Very first thing she does is dunk on men in order to somehow elevate women, right? You're all insane. The truth is that the only reason that this happens to begin with is because women vote for it. They vote for it. They vote.
Yeah, listen, even though I like agree with like the message, I think his way of doing it is fucking dumb. And I think it's wrong. I think coming in like a bull in China, I think, all right, listen, so here's the problem that we have, right? So like in this society, like if you understand how the society operates, like, I mean, like we know, like we live in a Christian liberal society, right? You know what this is. Like the best way to come in is like to come in, you know what I mean? Like in that Al Pacino's devil's advocate thing, like, you know, like never let them see you coming type of deal. Like just come in and go, man, listen, look, I'll be honest with you. All right. Like I'm just blue collar piece of white trash, you know, like all I want to do with my life, you know what I mean, is like, you know, spend time with my kids and go fishing and just enjoy myself. And, you know, I'll be honest with you. Like when I turn on the TV and my daughter is, you know what I mean, like playing a sport, and she's just getting the shit kicked out of her by like a female, you know, it makes me feel the way as a father. Like, I don't know what to tell her. You know what I mean? Like, I want to defend her because like, that's my daughter, that's my baby, right? That's a better way of doing it. You know what I'm saying? Right? And you'll get more people on your side than coming in swinging, right? And dunking on motherfuckers because like all of a sudden, like, oh, you are like immediately making yourself like the lightning rod. And then all these people just have the ability to just like smash on you. It turns into like interpersonal fucking like bullshit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that's one of the things that I have a problem with Andrew Wilson on is like when I first met him, he was doing that devil's advocate shit. And I know he can do it. And he still does it, but he does the bull in the china shop way too quick, you know?
Yeah.
And I think it makes him boring to listen to, honestly, because he just blows up the conversation without giving any sort of build up, you know? And
he's trolling. You know what I mean? Is what the fuck he's doing right now. You know what I mean? Like, and there's a place for trolling. You know what I mean? There is. Right? You know what I mean? Like throwing in little pot shots and, you know what I mean, getting motherfuckers. Like, what the trick in trolling is to get that turf to fucking go after the tranny. You know what I mean? That's a secret, right? It's to sit here and like, yo, use these other people. You know what I mean? To stand here and like fucking like smash.
To make your argument for you, like make the lady with the Star of David on her neck to you know, go full Pol Pot or Hitler. You know what I mean? That would be
exactly. You know what I'm saying, right? Like, yo, that's the little trick to this, right? You got to come at it like quiet. Right, and that's what I was trying to get that dude to do last night, but like that's like I figured he would go with a proper troll, but he did not. You know what I mean? He went full retarded last night.
No, it's okay. I mean, we all need some guidance here. I mean, myself included. Like that's why I think we need to challenge each other because it's you know, we're all trying to get our point across, and we can use some help. You know.
I got you, right? You know, what I mean, I said that earlier, like I was reading about if you heard. I was like, listen, I got my ass handed to me last night. You know, what I mean, like I feel a way about that, and I fucking woke up this morning and was like, all right, bro. Actually, last night before I went to bed, before I fucking crashed out, I went to Audible and downloaded Plato and Nietzsche, right? Just like, listen, they're gonna be in my headphones the next couple of nights. You know what I'm saying? Just sitting here listening. You know, be fucking getting this fucking shit into my fucking brain so I can fucking argue. You know, I can fucking like have these conversations. And go, yeah, I read the goddamn book, you piece of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck you.
Well, and the thing is, it all comes back to interpretation, and like with this lady, you know, or I'm sorry, this creature in the middle here, you know, she's trying to like play these word games and stuff like that. And I mean, you know, Andrew Wilson, he's got an advantage in the lawyer department. Like if he wants to sit here and break down the language that she's using, first of all, transphobic is not accurate. Second of all, you know what I mean? Like, but again, I think that trying to play off the panel is much better, and I wish he would do that more often if he's going to be on these things with her.
On the bigger joints, right? Now I'm saying like stop making us all look like retards is kind of where I'm at. You know what I mean? Like, you know, if I can make our side look good, you know what I mean? Like be humble and don't, you know what I mean, be all ridiculous, be over here clip farming and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's all supposed to be PR. I mean, you know, if we're running a PR campaign, the number one thing you want to do is get people to actually want to be on your side, you know, and the way he goes about it, like you said, it kind of turns away people that otherwise would come to a reasonable conclusion. I mean, it's funny, like here in, like, I'll tell you, like I'm in San Francisco right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I could pretty much say everything I'm saying here in general to most people in San Francisco, and because the way I say it, it works, right?
So, yeah, listen. So, like, here's my thing, right? So, okay, I was my grandmother was in the hospital like last month or whatever, right? And I walk in, and they make me put on all this like whatever, fucking like the whole like protective gear because she had COVID or whatever. I had to put on like a face mask and like fucking a hat and a fucking yellow suit and all this shit or whatever, right? And, you know what I mean, and gloves, and my mom and her are like squabbling about nonsense or whatever, right? And I walk over to my grandmother, right? You know what I'm saying? I look at my mom, I throw her a dirty ass, like, shut the fuck up, right? You know what I mean? And like I fucking look at my grandma, like, grandma, listen, so you eat any good food recently? Right? You know what I'm saying? Grandma's like, oh my God, Tommy, I had this chicken Alfredo the other day, right? And she just starts going off. Like, this is how you win hearts and minds. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is how like you keep motherfuckers like off kilter. It's literally like, you know, you have to be like a human being and get on like a human level with motherfuckers instead of like continuing to like try to pretend that like you're better than everybody around you. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep rocking them.
Vote blue. They vote left. They vote in the same politicians who get behind all of this stuff. You're the deciding vote. Right? And you have empowered women to do that as much as possible for the political process to do that. All of you are responsible for this. Every last one of you.
Really glad that you're so
Emily,
Trump.
Yeah.
Leave me out of this one. I'm good.
Well, we'll see.
Well, that's what Andrew kept saying. All of you. Do you include Emily, Andrew, or not?
Well, I just assumed it. I just assumed it. But this is the truth. The truth is we begin with these crazy ideas, right? Under patriarchal rule, under men, this would never have happened, right? If you look at how men vote, they vote against this nonsense. And it's fathers who are on the front lines against it. It's women who are trying to transition the children, not men. Give me a case example of where male fathers are trying to transition their kids. It doesn't exist. It's a
Yo, listen, I'm gonna keep this 100% honest with you, right? there's a lot of dudes out here, right? Literally, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, fucking hanging out, playing fucking Nintendo while their wives are over here banging out fucking Tyrone. You know what I mean? And like, they will defend their wives, motherfucking sitting here transitioning their fucking kids and shit. Let's keep this a whole way above.
I've seen that. I've seen that too, and that's why, like, I get his argument, but I think it's a very weak argument, to be honest with you. So, yeah, I think, like, I've seen it too. Like, I've seen, like, again, there's not a lot of people out here in San Francisco that do that, but when you do see it, it's definitely the dudes on board with it, and like, honestly, it makes people like Pol Pot, you know. I would love to see him come back. You know what I mean? Because, you know, his argument, he could put that a little bit better. You know, where.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm trying to think of how to put it the right way, but he's kind of. I think he's kind of doing the argument just very weak. You know, and I know he's capable of doing it better because I've heard him do it better. So that's why I don't understand why he's doing it right now.
Yeah, I feel where you are, right? And I mean, it's on that level where, you know what I mean, you're sitting here and you're going like, well, I don't know. Or like you're sitting here and you're going like, bro, listen, like, I know there's dudes who are doing this shit, right? And like these dudes, you know what I mean, 100%, you know what I mean, it needs to be on that level where, you know what I mean, like, you're over here like, bro, up against the motherfucking wall, 4 eyes. You know what I'm saying? Right? It needs to go like full Pol Pot with these motherfuckers. But like that's, you know, that's something that, you know what I mean, like, we as a society have to have a conversation with these motherfuckers these low testosterone ass dudes. Right, let's keep going though. You know what I mean? Let's keep rocking.
A female only phenomenon. Literally a female only phenomenon.
That is insane.
Yeah, show me one male father who's fighting in the courts to transition their son to a girl.
Actually,
Nowhere.
I made a
That's a reach.
podcast series
I see men on
about this.
TikTok that are diseased.
I interviewed quite a few fathers that are pushing for this. But the point is that this is something that benefits men, and it's men that are the ones that are saying they're women. They are all of a sudden the oppressed, and feminists like me are the oppressor, and that they're too weak and pathetic to fight and play against.
Well, let's keep this 100% honest. Feminists are oppressors, right? Like, listen, women outvote dudes by 20 million votes a year, right? This is how you put this, right? Instead of saying you voted for it, you say women outvote dudes by 20 million votes a year and have since FDR, right? Like, y'all are responsible for everything that's going on right now, and you think that you're the oppressed ones, and you're not, right? That's how you do it, and you say it like that, right? You don't go, you voted for it, right? You go, listen, y'all motherfuckers y'all outvote dudes by 20 million votes a year because you outlive men, and men have felonies and have their rights taken away. 7% of men have felonies and can't vote. This is what it is, right? Men die earlier because of industrial accidents and workplace accidents, and because we don't go to the doctor, all right? Y'all are the oppressors. You have been in charge. The politicians pander to you, and this is the reason this is happening, is because you are pandered to by the politicians, right? And you approach it humbly, you know what I mean? And they go, and they'll stand here and they'll feel away in the pit of their stomach about it, you know what I mean? They might even like try to like attack you over it, but like the reality is, when you say it and you fucking actually like give numbers and you fucking you keep your, man, listen, lower your voice, right? Stop with like this nasally fucking garbage. Like, I get that this is just his voice, but you lower your voice and you say it with authority from your fucking chest, right? Say it with your chest, little nigga. You know what I'm saying? Just like, you know, you fucking stand here and you fucking announce it. Like, this is just what this is, right? And you don't say it like, oh, you know, fucking like, you know, I'm whining. You say it like, this is just how the fuck things are. And y'all have no idea. They will immediately start backing down. You know what I mean? Because like, they don't have a fight at that point. Keep going.
Other men. And what do? They
vote left?
come and beat up on women.
Do you vote left, ma'am?
I don't know what vote left means.
Do you vote for the left-wing party of your nation?
Do you vote for Democrats?
Do you vote for what would be considered the Democrats of your nation?
No, I wouldn't have voted for the Democrats. I would not have voted for the disgrace of that party, and I also wouldn't have voted for Trump. But the point is,
if we look, hang on, let me finish.
We live in a different,
very quickly.
We live in a different context.
What I'm saying to you is this: it's very simple. If you look at the voting patterns of women in both the UK and the United States, they're usually the deciding vote when it comes to degeneracy. That includes it includes on the trans issue. So here you are, it's the very thing that you push for empowerment of women that is now causing your very problem. You have to now convince women. Men are already there. Men have already said, nope, we don't want this, we never wanted it, it's garbage.
To be women.
Yeah, apart from the women who are claiming to be men, which now it's almost equalized. Remember that part, right? This phenomenon, though, is categorically rejected by men and reinforced by women. And TERFs like you did everything that you could possibly do in order to push that. You did everything you could do to push that. And now you get to reap the whirlwind. So I don't care if women in their sports teams are getting their teeth kicked in. I don't care. Reap what you sow. As you sow, so shall you reap. And then you get exactly what you deserve.
You seem like a lovely person.
I'm sorry that you have to deal with the consequences of your own actions.
All right, that was kind of based. I'll be honest with you. That was
a little better for sure. I mean, the way I look at it is also this. Like, I think your argument that you're trying to say, I think the way that you put it was better, just because I think, like, here's how I would frame it from what you were saying and what he's saying. I would say it this way. It'd be like, look, I don't know the exact words I would use, but I use something to the effect of like, look, you know, you women, you want to be in charge. You kind of are. Here's how. And things are falling to shit, right? And if you want things to continue to fall to shit, continue on the path you're on. If you want to actually bring men into the fold again, something's got to give. And guess what? You know, cutting kids' dick off, that's probably going to need to go.
Well, like, women don't want men in the fold. Women don't want men in the fold because the government's a much better man than, like, fucking the man is. Right? The government's more stable than a man. Right? This is the issue ultimately. And, like, literally they say this later on in the joint, right? Now, I mean, like, we'll get to this point where, like, they go, oh, you know, what, do you want women just be, like, fucking get married in their 20s and be stuck with a dude who, like, they're not in love with, they don't really like, or whatever it is, right? Like, this is kind of the point, right? It's like, literally, like, you know, these fucking females, they know that the government inherently is a better husband than like, any husband can be. You know
well, and the other thing is this, like, women are naturally not content. And that's the thing is, like, they're confusing happiness and fulfillment with being content, right? And again, you know, this is why traditionally women don't, you know, have control over shit. It's not because they're bad or stupid or whatever. They just lack contentment, you know, and you can't really deal with people who lack contentment. I mean, you know, there's no wisdom there. You know, if you're never satisfied, then, you know, how's that going to run? It's not going to work very well.
I completely agree with you. You know what I mean? You know, like, fucking, they're not ever going to be satisfied, and that's something that we have to come to terms with. That's like as a species. You know what I mean? Yeah. Right? Like, they're
like you were saying, like, men just deny reality. Essentially, I'm just agreeing with what you were saying before. You know?
Yeah. Like, you ever seen that Joe Budden clip where, like, fucking, it was Joe Budden on the Joe Budden show? He had that female, like, and they talked about hang on, hold up, bro. I'll play it real quick. Joe Budden, Eve joke.
Nah, watching this point being proven in real time was wild.
A lot about women. I think I learned exactly how the fall of man occurred in the Garden of Eden. Adam and Eve were in the Garden of Eden, and Adam said one day, wow, Eve, here we are, at one with nature, at one with God. We'll never age, we'll never die. And all our dreams come true the instant that we have them. And Eve said, yeah, it's just not enough, is
it? No, that's not funny.
I was just waiting for more.
So that was kind of his point. That's kind of what he was saying. I mean...
Wait, hold up. There we go. There's 7%. There we go. Yeah. Like legit.
No, that was very accurate.
Yeah.
I mean, that's straight up.
It's like, yo, it's fucking tragic, right? It really is fucking tragic at the end of the day, because that's half of our species. You know what I mean? And we all have to like deal with that.
Yeah, and again, it's not about hate or whatever. I mean, the truth is, you know, good luck trying to manage any relationship without being aware of that. I mean, there's a reason why men go out and become homicidal, is because they don't like the way things are. I mean, you know what I mean?
Well, I wrote a Substack about that, right? You know what I mean? I wrote a Substack where I literally said, you know what I mean, like fucking, like when your expectations of reality and the reality don't match, right? You know what I mean? Like, you know, the little things aren't really a big deal, right? You know what I mean? Like, you know, I expect to go to the store and there's going to be like my drink of choice there. And if it's not there, it's okay. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it's going to ruin your day a little bit, but it's not that terrible, right? But like, you know, when you have like a big thing where like, oh, listen, I expect, you know what I'm saying, that like my justice system is going to work. Like you have that paradigm in your head of like, you know, fucking law and order and justice being done and the innocent, you know what I mean, go free. And you go, I'm innocent. And then like they convict you and you go, fuck. That's when like major violence happens. You know what I mean? It's when your expectations of reality don't match reality. You know, and this is the fucking problem. It's like you have to have people understand what reality actual is. That way you can, number one, avoid violence. But number two, we can change reality to make it match somewhat, because like there are like hacks you can do. You know what I'm saying? Right? Because like this whole idea of like religiosity or like religion, like fucking forcing people to like, you know, live in a certain way is fucking dumb if you don't have the underlying culture. You know what I'm saying? You know, so all right, bro, let's keep going on.
Piersmorgan Uncensored is now proudly independent. If you like the show, we ask for only one thing: subscribe on YouTube and follow Piersmorgan Uncensored on Spotify. A lot of news on social media with his debate with Tomi Lahren last week after accusing her of being a covert feminist. Just remind people of that clip which went viral.
Most men are born to be protectors and providers. I can't imagine my dad saying, you know what, to my mom, you know what, I'm not going to be a protector and a provider unless you do this. That's not how real men operate. Real men are protectors.
All relationships are transactional. Right? By the way, that look right there is hilarious. Hang on a minute. Hold up. I gotta. Tomi Lahren. Yo, I don't know if you ever saw this shit. You know what I mean? Yo, watch this. This is fucking crazy.
What's up? I'm gonna let you guys trickle in before and all the boys who think they're mind. And I consider myself a teacher. I'm lives and I do rants about politics. There's plenty to talk about in politics right now. Do it every day. It's a great time. But something, as of recently, has been on my mind. And I consider myself a teacher, a helper, someone who could possibly inspire people to be better. So with that being said, this is a PSA for all the men out there and all the boys who think they're men, but they're actually boys. This is going to be the summer of canceling boys. Now, from my own personal experiences and the experiences of all of my friends, which range in age from 24 to 36, we've all got issues. Now, I will also say this. All of my friends are attractive. All of my friends are successful. All of my friends have something going on. Almost every single one of them have an issue with men. And you have to start looking at that and thinking, if an age range of that many people, including myself, living really all over the country and being blonde, brunette, short hair, long hair, I mean, tan, super white, super pale. I mean, these women range in every body type and everything. They're all successful, they're all intelligent, they're all good people. But if all of these women, including myself, are having issues, then I have to think, it might not be us. It might be you. It might be men. It might be men. Now, I've often talked about the pussification of America and how men are no longer men. I talk to my mom about this a lot, and she says, well, maybe it's just the guys in Texas. Maybe it's just the guys in Los Angeles. Maybe it's just the guys, it is not just the guys in Los Angeles, Nashville, Dallas, and they're not any better in the Midwest. They, quite frankly, I think they're trash all over this country in the age range of about 20 to I think about 55, maybe even 60. A lot of men are trash. A lot of men don't know how to treat women. A lot of men don't know how to really, quite frankly, pull their heads out of the sand and pay attention. So I am going to help you. And these are some of the things that I've experienced, and these are some of the things my friends have experienced. I'm just going to lay a few things out. They haven't all happened to me. Some of them have just happened to my friends. A lot of them have happened to me. So the first thing, and I've made notes, by the way. I've made notes. This is how invested I am in this, because I've been thinking about this for about 2 weeks solid now. First question for men. If you like a girl, if you're even somewhat interested in a girl, you need to ask yourself this question. Are you single? No, I don't mean are you kind of single, seeing 5 people, dating somebody, still kind of in a relationship, kind of broken up, kind of on again, off again, kind of married, kind of divorced. Are you actually single? That means single. You have nobody. You have no complications. You have no attachments. You are actually single. That is the first question, believe it or not, that needs to be asked. And ladies, you should be asking it, because in 2020, it's not a given anymore that a guy that's actively pursuing you is actually single. So that's the first thing. The second thing that I think is very important that men don't seem to understand. There are very few women out there, and I'm speaking from personal experience as well as from all of my friends and all the women, quite frankly, that I talk to. There is not a woman out there that wants to be your pen pal. She doesn't want to get your texts, your good morning texts, your good night texts, your random through the day texts, if they don't follow up with a plan to actually, here's the kicker, in person, hang out. Now, I know what you're saying. Oh, it's COVID. People can't hang out in person. This has not been a 4-month problem. This has been a 5-year problem that I've experienced with men, and my friends have experienced with men. Women do not want a pen pal. We don't want a texting pal. We quite frankly don't care if you text us all day or if you don't text us at all. If you're not going to make a plan to actually see us in person, not interested. And if you do have a woman out there that just wants to be your pen pal, it's probably because she has a boyfriend or a husband or a wife or whatever. We don't want a pen pal. But that also leads me to my second point. This is going to be backwards for you guys. Make plans. Make a plan. Do not assume that you can text somebody randomly in the middle of the day, what are you doing? Or text them at midnight or 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. or even just within hours of when you actually want to see them and think that they're going to be available. I personally, once I get home,
let me keep this a beam with you, right? Like every female I've ever dated has hit me up at like random ass motherfucking times and wanted to do shit. And then got mad at me, right, afterwards. You know, because I'm like, bro, listen, I'm kind of busy at the second, you know what I'm saying? Oh. Well, you know, and then like fucking like 2 weeks later, well, I asked you to fucking da-da-da-da, you know what I'm saying? Like, I have literally had that happen like fucking so many fucking times that like I can't fucking count. That shit is a constant thing. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, I gave you a chance at this point. You know what I mean? Like, oh, fuck, man, listen.
And I take my makeup off and I'm watching TV, I'm no longer interested. So if you didn't make a plan earlier in the day, or better yet, a day or 2 or 3 in advance, I'm not interested. I don't want.
Look, nobody wants you making plans, right, to like come fuck or whatever the case is, bro. It's supposed to be like some spontaneous shit. That's what makes it enjoyable, right? Like literally planning to come hang out and get laid. Like I feel you, like, bro. That's great if you have like a fuck buddy. Yeah, it's like every Wednesday.
That's rarely ever worked for me. Yeah, that's rarely ever worked for me. I mean, like literally.
Right.
Like, I would not be interested in someone like her. And I think she must be upset at someone in particular. You know what I mean? Obviously, like, this is very personal for her, obviously.
Oh, yeah, that's why she's been thinking about it for weeks. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and she got alpha widowed by somebody. But, like, listen, I'll be honest with you. Let me keep this a whole way 100. Like, just, like, all the way honest. My dick don't work sometimes when you be trying to plan shit. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, my brain and, like, it gets all, like, you know, oh, what I'm going to do, da-da-da, you know, like, it gets that whole, like, fucking weird shit where it's like an
Yeah,
expectation.
no, I totally agree. I mean, the best usually comes from. And really the mark of health of the situation is really the inconvenience and the non-convenience and the non-planning of it. You know what I mean? Like,
It's
to
the
me, it's
sporadicness, like
like
it's the spontaneity of it.
yeah, a little bit of danger in it too. Of like, are we going to get in trouble? Like that's way more,
Yeah.
100 times more enjoyable. You know what I mean?
It's more fun.
So,
You know what I mean? It's more exciting. You know what I mean? Like you actually get mentally into it, emotionally invested in it, like all that type of shit, right? In the end of the day. Like, yo, it's just like broads, and they know this too. Like, yo, they 100% know this, right? Because like they hate. All right, let me put this way. You've been in long term relationships. I've been in long term relationships. I mean, like I was married. You're married now, right? When you have like a day of where like, it's like, oh, this is the day that we have sex every week or whatever it is, right? It becomes a chore for her, and which makes it way less enjoyable for you. So even if you do fuck her at that point, which at that point I kind of don't even want to, right? You know what I'm saying? Like literally, like you fucking stand here and you go, I'm just like, I'm not even really in, like you end up being a quickie, just I'm gonna get off. I'm like, now I'm just using your vagina as like a fucking, that's a fleshlight. You know what I'm saying? And it's
yeah,
kind of, it's
that's
trash.
yeah, I can't even, yeah, exactly. Like, that's the thing is like, and I think the thing is like, I think a lot of women think that that's how men are, but it's not really. And I don't know where they're getting this perspective. I don't know where they're getting the perception from. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel
But
you. Right?
yeah, it doesn't
I
make
agree.
like it's ridiculous because like even after you're in a relationship for many years, women still think like, oh, you just want this and that. It's like,
No,
I really don't. Like I want, like like you said, spontaneousness. Like,
yeah, spontaneity, right?
but
At the end of the day, like, listen, like, like I be, like, this is why, like, me and my baby's mom's, like, we got 3 kids together, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, we be in, like, an actual, like, like, long-term thing. Like, it would be a real relationship if it wasn't a constant state of, you know what I mean? Like, fucking, she only fucks, like, when she's 100% in the mood, and if she doesn't, then it's just, oh, come on, let's go get this over with. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I don't want that to be what it is. You know what I mean? That's a terrible way to be, and I can't live my life that way. I fucking can't. You know what I mean? Because it's like literally like one step from rape as far as I'm concerned. Right? Where it's like I'm begging for pussy, you know what I'm saying? Like I, number one, don't feel like a man. You know what I mean?
No, I totally agree, and I think that's the weird, and I think that's the messed up part now is because for whatever reason, things have been turning more and more that way, and like you said, like it really does turn into that. But then it's like they, for whatever reason, it's become this leverage point where they say, well, I don't want you to do it with other people, but then I don't want to give it to you. So it's like, okay, so what exactly, so like now we're hostages. So it's like,
what are we
okay,
doing
so,
here? You know what I mean? Like, yo, this transaction is no longer working out for me. You know what I mean? Like, listen, I'm working and grinding and doing all the shit I'm supposed to do. Like, because I'll be real, like, here's the other thing, right? Like, I'm not one of these guys who's like, oh, I'm not going to fucking touch a dish in the sink. I'll do the dishes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I clean the house, like, because that's just, I'm a clean person. You know what I mean? Like, I do the laundry. I do the grocery shopping in the fucking house. I always do. Because I don't want a woman to go to the store and come home with a whole bunch of boxes of fucking Twinkies. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, no. Okay? No. We're not fucking doing that. I don't want my kids drinking soda. I don't want you buying a whole bunch of, like, fucking boxes of chicken nuggets for shit. You know what I mean? Like, no. We're going to cook. You know what I mean? So, I stand here and, like, I literally run the fucking household. Right? On top of, like, working. Right? And so, when I'm doing that, like, and I'm not getting laid, the fuck is the point in all this? You know what I'm saying? Like why are we doing all this?
Yeah, like yeah, and the thing is like if that doesn't raise the desire, then what does? Like does me going and being a irresponsible person do it for you? And unfortunately for a lot of people it does seem to do it. So it's kind of a weird dichotomy that we got going on here where you know
I don't know anybody
They're,
who
they're,
like they're happy with that situation. You know what I'm saying? Like I know no one who is happy with that type of situation. Like real shit. You know, because
well, it's almost like you have to make artificial scarcity of yourself. Like you said, like when you're doing the right things, then it's almost like you have to do the wrong things in order to make the woman appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
And but then it's like, okay, so now I have to be a artificial version of myself to get you to be appreciative of what I naturally would want to do, which kind of defeats the purpose.
Well, I mean, like,
You
no,
know
no.
what I mean?
So, like, yeah, let me say this too, right? Like, like in a long term relationship, you still have to like date your female, right? And I mean, that's something that I've learned over the years. Like, you do have to stand here and go, like, okay, well, you know what I mean? Like, we're going to stand here and, you know what I mean? Like, go out, or I'm going to bring home flowers, or like, I'm going to fucking do like we're going to do romantic shit. Like, we're going to hang the fuck out and dance. Like, we're going to go do things together. That's important to do. Like, you can't just, you know what I'm saying? Like, trap her in a motherfucking crib and expect her to be happy about life. You know what I'm saying? Because like, you're not giving her like, I don't know, like any options or excitement or like fucking entertainment. And that's one of the things I talked about in my last Substack, right? What I wrote is, you know what I mean, like literally like women rely on men for like their entertainment. You know what I mean? That's something that you have to do because like they don't have anything to do. And I mean, they're fucking bored, and I get it. You know what I mean? Like if I was that fucking bored out of my tit all the time, I'd be banging every broad in the fucking neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I'd be doing if I was a female. And I mean, I'd be fucking every guy around, right? Because like I was bored. You know, and that's, you know, maybe that's just me, you know what I mean? But like, I feel like that's, you know what I mean, just a reality of like where the situation is. And we have to like, again, accept the reality. So like, yeah, you still got to do things with her and take her out and spend time with her and fucking, you know what I mean? Like show her a good time and all that type of shit. But it should never be on that level where like, you know, you're doing this because you want to get laid. It should be you're doing this because like, you know, you actually do want to go do shit with your female and your female wants to go do shit with you. And like, you know, y'all should have that type of relationship. And you know, it should never be like when I'm gonna give an example, right? So like, you know, I had a female one time, she had a 3-date rule, right? So I took her like fishing and hiking, right? Because like I don't fucking pay for dates, right? And we got back from the 3rd date or whatever, and like I'm hanging out at the crib and like I'm like, listen, you know, I'm not gonna like just like jump on her because like I expect sex. Like what this is gonna be is we're gonna lay down, we're gonna watch a movie, I'm gonna lay back and she's gonna take what she wants. You know what I mean? And that should be like the attitude of most dudes. Like if she's interested, she should go after you. And if she doesn't, then it's time to go about your business. Go on your way. You know what I mean? Because if she's not interested in you,
exactly.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no, I agree. Yeah. Like that's the thing is like I would say that like the myth of men making the first move in that kind of context is a myth, and it should kind of be. I kind of think it should remain a myth in a weird way, which sounds weird, but yeah, I agree with you. I think that really in general, like I've never had to ask, and when I do have to ask, then something else is wrong or something else ain't adding up or whatever. So yeah,
I feel you. Right. And I mean, and like here's and this is really important too, right? Like it should never be like a spoken thing of where like you're going, hey Ma, listen, I need laid. You know what I mean? Right? If you're saying that, right, you're literally like what you're doing is in sales terms, you're giving her a no answer question, right? So basically when you're in sales, you only want to ask questions that can lead to a yes, you know what I'm saying, or like a positive response. And like basically what it should be is, you know what I mean, like you should make your move, you know what I mean, and just let it lead where it leads. You know what I mean? If she says, nah, I don't want to, be like, all right, bro, listen, I'm out. I'm gonna holler at you later. Right? And she goes, no, wait, come here. Right? You know what I mean? Like, listen, then you in there like swimwear. And if not, then like it's time to fucking go. Go on about your business and don't worry about it because like legit, she ain't that interested in you. Because let's keep this all the way honest. Right? All the way honest. For the right dude, she will literally take it on the ass on the first fucking date and then put it in her mouth. Just what it is.
Yeah, see, straight up, like that's the truth. And I hate to say that and that's the thing is like, it goes to the fickleness of it. Like I used to think that divorce and all this was like a badge of like, losing the game or something. But the truth is, like, people just straight up, you know, especially women, like, they're just going to change their mind. So you can't really expect that. Like, I don't think love forever is something that women are really honestly capable of, to be honest with you. Like, I think that it's like, I think for women especially, like, it's always going to be transactional. I know men who've divorced their wife for whatever reason. They always still love the woman, but they're just like, I ain't going to be with her. You know what I mean? So,
yeah,
you know,
100%.
I never heard that. I never heard a woman say that. So
no, I have heard women
Yeah.
say that, right? You know what I'm saying? She's like, I love him to death, but I can't be with him. You know what I mean? Like, we can't live together, right? You know, like, I can't deal with his bullshit, whatever it is. I've heard that many a times, right? And I'm gonna keep it a bone with you. Like, listen, keep this a beam, right? When I was a kid, my dad was remarried with a new family, and on a regular basis, he'd be over at my crib pounding out moms. You know what I'm saying? That was normal where I came from.
It makes sense to me too. I mean, to be honest with you, like, I think that, and honestly, it's better for, hey, just don't take this offensively, but I think it's probably better for your mom too. I mean, like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I mean, that to me, that is normal. I mean, honestly, I think that that's actually way more normal than people think it is, you know, but you know, people don't want to hear that, but
yeah. Like, listen, I'm be honest, right? Like, my baby's mom's like, she fucking demands, right? She says as part of her child support, she wants dick once a month.
I mean, that's a good woman.
It's not that, right? Again, it's how do I put this? Because of how far the rest of the population's testosterone has dropped, right? You know, nobody else understands that this is normal, right? Like, you're supposed to be this guy, right? You're supposed to be somebody who, like, you literally, like, fucking are naturally, like, able to just make a female behave herself. You know what I'm saying? Like, all things around you should follow you. Whether it be animals, whether it be women, whether it be children. Like, all things around you should just naturally want to follow your lead. You know what I'm saying? Like, that should just be the natural thing, because that's what testosterone does. Right? And, like, the rest of our population in this society has dropped to a level that, like, literally, they can't make a woman fucking stand here and behave herself.
Well, another thing that's stood out to me is, like, I mean, for me personally, I don't know if this is going to make sense to you, but I would say that, like, when you know that you have that ability, what you're saying there, you kind of get to a point where, like, you don't really want to share that ability with a lot of people, because it basically just puts a certain responsibility on you that you just find that people don't appreciate. You know what I mean?
Oh, 100%, 100%, right?
You know what I mean?
Like, so, and this is the thing, right, with a dude. Like, okay, again, you get back to, like, that serenity thing, right? Where it's like, you accept the fact that motherfuckers aren't going to do what you say, right? They're going to follow you, but they're not going to do what you say a lot of the times, right? Because, like, you know, everybody's children in this society, right? But, like, once they figure it out, like, eventually they will come to terms with what it was, right? And, like, your job as a dude is literally just to be, like, a leader and go, this is what's supposed to happen. This is what you need to do, right? And be consistent with your fucking message, right? And the longer you're consistent with your message, like, yo, the more motherfuckers just come around and go, like, yeah, you're right. You know what I mean? And that's just what it is. And it's not going to be today. It's not going to be tomorrow. You know what I mean? It's not going to be like, you know what I mean? It might not be in, like, 2 years. Right? It might take 6, 7, 8, 10 years for a motherfucker to get it. Right? But eventually they will. Eventually they'll fucking have a little light bulb will go off and they go, oh my God, I can't believe this. My baby's mom broke down this weekend, fucking crying. Fucking just sitting there, just put her arms around. I'm so sorry. I didn't know. I couldn't figure all this out, man. This is so hard, right? You know what I mean? Because, like, she's quit drinking. Now she's looking at her life and she's like, oh my God, like, the fuck have I done to myself? You know what I mean? Like, look at what I'm eating. Like, literally, like, I can't believe that, like, this is actually a thing. I had no idea that all this shit was this. You know what I mean? And now she's getting it. Right? But like, you know,
But
it took 10 years. It took 10 fucking years.
Well, and I think it's what you're saying is basically like leading by example. And the thing is, like, you know, one of the hardest things that I've had to deal with, even to this point, is to realize that, you know, leading by example sounds all great and all, but really what that means is you're going to be by your motherfucking self.
Yeah.
Like, pretty much. You know?
Yeah.
Basically. And then, like you said, other people may follow and want to orbit around you, but by the time you get to that point, you're going to be like, you know, harem come see me or wife come see me, and everybody else, like, you know, just kind of fuck off. You know what I mean?
I mean, like,
and
listen,
I just seen that, you know,
like again, right? Like showing yourself to be like the top end. You know what I'm saying? Like of like fucking human beings, right? Showing yourself to be like that motherfucker in your area, right? In your orbit of like the people around you, to be that person, right? And like I get like not being recognized for that because I had that problem too. Like my family still looks at me like, you know, like some punk 16-year-old, even though I am saying the same things I said when I was 16 and I'm still right. Repeatedly, I am still right about everything I said, right? Nothing I said was wrong, right? And like they still have like zero respect for anything. You know what I mean? Because like, you know, they don't want me to be fucking right because like that means that like they're wrong and they're less than me and like they're supposed to listen. Right. And they're literally just like rebelling. They're rebelling against my dad. They're rebelling against me. They're rebelling against like authority and their grandfather. They're rebelling against everybody around them because they don't want any of us to be right. You know what I mean? They want their system to operate and they've lived in this cognitive dissonance for so fucking long that they'll never fucking get it. And it's cool. You know what I mean? I had an old man. I had an old man one time on his deathbed. Right. My son's grandfather, right? His mom's, grandpa, right? Me and him were sitting there and literally like this guy's dying on his fucking deathbed, right? Looks at me, goes, Tommy, come in. I said, what up? He said, I'm sorry. He said, I should have listened to you. Right? On his fucking deathbed, this motherfucker apologizes to me. He said, I was wrong in everything that I did. Right? And me spoiling your fucking kid, it turned him into a piece of shit. I see what I did now and I'm fucking sorry. That's just like, listen,
I mean,
you know what I mean? These are the rewards you get in life. This is what you get for a man, as a man. That's what you get. That's your reward.
No, I haven't had that dramatic of a thing happen, but definitely I can tell you, like, I mean, if I ever go to my grandfather's bedside before he dies, I mean, you know, I'm probably going to say that to him, even though I did listen to him more than almost anybody else. If I just listen to what the motherfucker told me, my life would be like exponentially much better right now. Like, you know, way better.
I agree. Right.
You know,
I mean,
so
like
yeah.
I
owe him a big apology because that's what I did. So, yeah.
Yeah, I kept to the code. You know what I'm saying? And like, you know, my life turned out to be what my life turned out to be, but I'm enjoying it. You know what I mean? As a whole. You know what I mean? Like my phone is never dry. You know what I mean? Like right now it's going to fuck off. It's like legit. Like, oh my God, like, listen, you want to hang out? You know what I mean? Like, it's never dry. You know what I mean? Like, yo, my fucking kids love me to death, right? My pops looks to me for fucking wisdom and guidance. You know what I mean? Like, fucking, I got dudes all over the world who fucking stand here and spout my shit back to me on a regular basis, right? I'm becoming an accomplished author, right? I fucking make money. I have fucking skills. People around me respect me. You know what I mean? Like, yo, what more do you want as a man?
No, you couldn't want that much more. I mean,
like, what do you want?
I mean, that's the point I'm trying to get to. Where I mean, I feel satisfied in a lot of areas. There's definitely some places for improvement, and
the only thing I want yet is land. That's it. The only thing I want yet is land. Nothing more. Right? That's where I'm at, and I'm about to get on that right here. You know what I mean? Like today, right? I'm working on that today, as a whole.
Well, and kind of what I was trying to say to you last night, and I think, you know, I think what Machine was maybe alluding to, I'm not sure. I didn't catch the whole thing, but I would definitely say that, like, the main thing I would say is, like, and you don't hold, here's a weird thing. It's like, you don't really hold responsibility for this. But I guess the way that I would measure leadership in the long term would be like, if you can have other people kind of replicate your success, if that makes sense. So, and maybe not obviously exactly the same. And I think that's impossible. Like, like I'm seeing some of my other friends succeed, like, like yourself and Machine and his right and other people. And I find it inspiring, and it kind of pushes me to like, okay, let me see if I can like do my own twist on what they're doing, and I'm just saying, like, to me, that's like, I view you guys as successful because I want to, I'm inspired to do like that, or like my grandfather, or like, you know, and I think that people, I guess it's not, that's the other thing is like, it's not who you control, it's who you inspire, I guess. Right. And I think that's the kind of weird thing where it's not, I think a lot of guys, they think that you're going to control and tell people you do this, my wife does what I tell her to do, but it's actually more like you inspire people to do things for you, or,
Well, I mean,
or
like,
for
listen,
themselves.
like saying, like hearing other people tell me that, like, I inspire them to do things, right? Is like, to me, that's a giant thing. It really is a giant thing. It's not just you, you know what I mean? Like, I've had, like, probably, God, like 6 or 7 other guys when I started writing, they started writing, you know what I mean? And like, I thoroughly enjoy that shit. You know what I mean? I like that. I love the fact that other people are like, listen, you know what I mean? Like, yo, Tom's over here, like, working fucking 12 hours a day, raising 8 kids and fucking doing like wild ass shit all the time. And he's still, you know what I mean? Like, fucking finding time to go and do this shit. Why am I not? You know what I mean? Like, Tom's over here, like, fucking going through the woods, running, picking up logs and running around and shit and showing pictures and videos and shit, being in nature. Like, why am I not? Right? Like, that's the whole point, is to go like, listen, you know what I mean? Like, bro, I'm not saying that, like, oh, you should be me in any way. Fuck all that shit. Right? Listen, you ain't, most motherfuckers ain't got the shoulders for that. Right? But, like, listen, go and touch grass and enjoy yourself. You know what I mean? Like, if I inspire other people to go touch grass and be a better person and, like, live their lives better and be in, like, a better position, you know what I mean? I bring motherfuckers together to the point where, like, they make each other's lives better. I'm fucking with it. And that's like that's a reward for me, and that's beautiful. And I love that. You know what I mean? I'm grateful that I had the opportunity to be able to do that type of shit. And even though it sounds like all kind of like dumb and fucking like, get a word, it sounds like a trope or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, it sounds all stupid and shit. Like, listen, like, yo, look, let's get back into this Piersmorgan video. We still got like fucking 25 minutes left of this video. Keep going.
And providers, and they marry women who hopefully
great.
have
A
some
woman telling
virtue,
us what
but
real
also
men
bring a
are
lot to
again.
the
Great.
table as well, that are great mothers, great wives, caretakers of the home. There's nothing wrong with being a traditional wife and mother.
So, Emily,
I hate that too, bro. Like, how, like, women go like, they are great wives, great mothers. Like, how are you the one to judge that? Like, you get to judge what men and women are, right? You get to, like, be the arbiter of, like, what manhood is and the arbiter of what femalehood is. Like, no, like, yo, that's not how this works. The guy eating pizza is the guy who determines what good pizza is, not the guy who makes it, right? Like, I get the fact that, like, I was a chef. I understand, right? I worked in a lot of kitchens and restaurants, right? And I would go to other restaurants and I'd eat their food and I go, this is fucking garbage, right? I understand this, you know what I mean? And, like, I watch people cook things and I go, that's fucking made wrong. And, like, I understand these things, right? But, like, don't get to be the arbiter of things when you're the ones producing. Get to be the arbiter of shit when you're the one consuming it. That's how that works. And I understand Tommy Lauren going like, they're great. These guys aren't good men. And she might be right. Keeping it a bean. Like, she might be right. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep this 100% honest. She may be correct that, like, a lot of dudes are trash. And I've said that myself. You know what I mean?
No, that's true. No, and that's the thing is, like, I think it, the older I've gotten, I mean, for me, I've always known that women have their issues, you know what I mean? Because I experienced it. But the older I've gotten and talked to a lot of women, there's a lot of just really, really terrible men out there. So,
I mean, yeah. But, like, I'm gonna keep this 100. Like, listen, let me put this like this. No man is turned on by, like, a woman's bank account. You know what I'm saying? Like, in any way. Like, that does not go into our range. Like, we would much rather pick up a female who, like, you know what I mean, has nothing. Right? Now,
and is just a clean person and a nice person, and
Oh, listen,
funny person.
If you got bomb pussy and you're homeless, I will fucking keep you. You know what I'm saying? That's how that operates, right? Like that's the mentality, right? Like literally, like that is, you know, we don't really give a fuck as to whether or not women make money. Like we just don't care. Like no dude gives a shit about that in any way. You know, that's not a turn on. Let's keep going.
What do you say? Are you a covert feminist like Tommy? Did you agree with Andrew's assessment?
I'm not a covert feminist. I am very outwardly, you know, the word feminism has been hijacked by like the woke left who uses it as an excuse for psychotic women and liberals to scream on the streets, we want equal rights when we have equal rights. I'm more so an empowered woman who encourages other women to, you know, be independent, work hard, chase your dreams. And that doesn't come at the expense of being feminine. It doesn't come at the expense of, now as a feminist, you need to eradicate all men. I don't think everything is so black or white. Listening to that debate.
Yeah, listen. This is the problem with like this whole like Disney World fucking stupid ideology about shit. Like, go chase your dreams. Right, listen, chase your dreams that you can chase, right? Like, I'm 41 years old, all right? There's no way I'm ever going to be an NFL player or an NBA player for that matter. I enjoy playing basketball and football, but I'm never going to join a league. Just not how that works. There are dreams that you cannot chase. There are dreams that you probably should not chase, right? I had a chick one time, and we were both, I don't know, I want to say like mid-30s, like early to mid-30s, some shit like that, right? And she was like, and she was living on Social Security and like fucking had like some like super duper health complications, right? She had like an enlarged heart because like fucking, had like that, she had the stomach fucking tie surgery. This is like pre-Ozempic. And she was on all these pills and all this shit. And she was on SSD, right? And she had a kid and she lived with her parents and had nothing. She's like, listen, I want to go to school and get my master's degree. And I was like, that is the dumbest shit I've ever heard. Like, yo, you're going to waste a bunch of money going to college, right? And like, yo, getting a whole bunch of debt for some shit that you're never going to use because you don't intend on working. Like, that is the stupidest shit ever. Like, stop with this nonsense of chasing your dreams. Like, it's dumb. Right? Like, your dream should be like the fucking, you know, be a fulfilled human being who is part of like a community and a family. That's what a dream is supposed to be. It should never be like, oh, I want to like, you know what I mean, like be, you know, 300 pounds and a model. Like, no, all right, no. You don't get to do that. It's fucking dumb.
They spoke a bit about gender roles, and here's my take on that. If you're gonna have gender role expectations for your man, that's a personal choice. Emily Austin has high expectations of her man. He has to be working hard. He should be successful. He should, you know, pay attention to how I feel. Like, there should be certain gender roles. He has to provide for the family, not solely, but he should be providing for his family. These are gender roles. As a woman, I learned how to cook. I know how to clean. My grandmother always tells me, my mother tells me, Emily, you're gonna be a good wife. You're gonna be loyal. You're gonna be supportive. You're gonna act like a lady. Now, there's many women who don't want to play into the gender roles, which is fine, but then don't expect your man to go out and become masculine. I think it's equal. Like, set the expectation and then date people who meet your expectation. But in terms of covert feminism, first of all, it's such a silly term. Either you support women or you don't. And I'm not talking about the trans argument right now. That's a separate one.
Not only is it not a silly term, it is true that most of the political pundit women on the right are covert feminists. And I'll just ask you the same exact question I asked Tommy.
Because the word feminism
Hang on,
got
let me finish the
problem.
question. Let me finish the question. No, I'm talking about all the way back to first wave feminism, okay? You are feminists, and I'll explain by asking you the same question. If it is men's duty in society to procure, refine, protect resources, which then women and children are the primary beneficiaries of, which they are. What societal duty, which is equal to that, do women have? What is it?
Women, we're going to have children. Men will never understand the burden of carrying a child.
So you have a duty to reproduce?
I expect women to be able to cook and clean.
Wait, so you have women have a duty to reproduce?
Absolutely.
Okay, great. So that's the one duty that's on par. Great. So that's one duty that's on par with that. I totally agree. Are they? Or is it the case that in every single
Most
nation in the
women, I
West, we are
assume, are
under
having
reproductive
kids.
rates in every single one of them? In every single nation in the West, we are lower than where we need to be for reproduction. So it seems that men are fulfilling their social duty and women are not. And the problem with the right is that the right doesn't ever address this, and right-wing females never address this. Instead, they say it's equal. Work.
I mean, let me keep this 100% honest, all right? You know, the average woman today, right, under the age of like fucking 40, and I mean, doesn't have kids, right? They don't reproduce is the fucking problem. Like, I think it's only like 30% of women are having kids, and like the ones that are having more, which is what's, upholding the fucking birth rate. But like literally women just aren't in general having children. You know what I'm saying? And the women who turn into dudes in particular aren't having children. So, I mean, if they're not actually like contributing to society in the same, in like any type of reciprocal way, like where is like this transaction in a relationship to allow them to have the same rights that like the men who do, right? Like I had to register for like the selective service, right? So like, if the government wanted to fucking draft me, they could, right? I had to stand here and like go to work and do like these terrible ass fucking jobs where I risk my fucking life. Right? Like I had to stand here and like fucking be like subject to fucking child support and all the fucking bullshit. Right? Like manhood was not a joke when I was a fucking kid. It was like an actual real thing. Like, so where the fuck, you know what I'm saying, is this expectation like being matched on both sides of the fucking game? Because like no one cares about them earning money. Like no one gives a shit. Like a woman doesn't have to earn anything. Like, and it's not even like part of the transaction when it's talking about relationships. Like, because again, no one cares. Right? Like, if they earn any type of dollars, that's not like a turn on. That's not like on a list of any dude who goes like, this is what I want in my woman. No dude goes like, I want her to have a job. Right? And any dude who does is like literally fucking retarded, because what you're doing is you're saying like, listen, I'm okay with my woman spending more time with other dudes than me. You know what I mean? Like, yo, familiarity breeds bullshit. Let's keep this a beam. You know what I mean? And this is my fucking problem with the vast majority of like the fucking right-wing fucking pundits. You know what I mean? Who like go, oh, you know what I mean? Is she earning anything? Like Aaron Clary's one of these pieces of shit, right? Like, no, I don't fucking care if she has a fucking job. Like, why would I care?
And motherhood are equal. They're not equal. Not only are they not equal, but let me give you another example here. As you dive into this, try to understand that what you do is you actually hamstring women by telling women they should go and be girl boss babes and go to college starting in their 20s. They actually destroy their prime reproductive years. They destroy them by having families later. It's the primary cause.
Okay, that's silly. I'm 23.
Hang on, listen.
I'm not
It's
having
the
a kid
primary
anytime
cause
soon. My
for the
kids will be just fine.
reproduction crisis. It's the primary cause of.
Yeah, Johnny, but I'm thinking the same thing, bro. Like a double wide and like a fucking little piece of land sounds fucking great to me. I might even give me one of them like little China joints. You know what I'm saying? Where like you get to bring it in the shipping container, you just fold it out. You know what I mean? It's like a little 2-bedroom fucking shack. Like that sounds based. Has all the electrical, like motherfucking plumbing already done. Like literally it's fucking 10 grand. Like fucking based. I am down 100%.
The reproduction crisis in the West is that with women defer families till they're in their 30s. Why do you think the average age of marriage is 32 in the United States? I think it just got raised to 33. Yes, you're going to have way less kids. Okay, part of girl bossing is when you say career women are right on par with mothers. They're not, and society should be glorifying one, not socially shaming the other, but you shouldn't give them the same elevation you give to mothers and matrons of families. That is pure covert feminism.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. I totally agree with them on that, because I mean, it's funny, like I hang out in Cupertino, right next to Google, Facebook, all these big ass companies, and it's actually really depressing. You got some of the smartest, attractive women in the United States doing these dead end jobs. They're hitting 40. No, if they have a boyfriend or a husband, it's amazing. They have no kids. They're miserable. I mean, it's a tragedy, to be honest with you. And the hot girl with a bunch of tattoos and made a bunch of mistakes in her life is like winning way more than they are. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's just
yeah. I mean,
fucked up, but that's
like
the reality.
again, like it's access, right? You know what I'm saying? Like that that chick with all the tattoos that made like all like the terrible mistakes in her life or whatever it is. Now I'm saying like, yo, she is way more accessible than like the female who is, you know what I'm saying, like fucking at Google. You know what I mean? Like, I'll never meet that chick at Google, but like I will meet the broad, you know what I'm saying, who has like all the tattoos and is hanging out somewhere. You know what I mean? Like that's the big thing. It's just like, listen, I've never met in real life, right, outside of like a dating app, right? I've never met a teacher, right, or like a state worker, right? Like they don't hang out. Yeah, I mean, like they're not like out running around like where the rest of us are, right? It's literally like access.
Well, and they're also like extremely emotionally tied to what they do, right? So like they're not willing. Like I remember. Okay, I'll tell you this story. I remember dating this girl when I was single. I really, really, really liked this girl, and she was an accountant, right? And very educated, and wanted to go get more education. And she was mad because I wasn't like super educated. I was doing okay, you know. But she's like, I want to find a guy who's got a house and he can buy a boat and he can afford to take me on trips and do this and that. I'm like, do you want kids? She's like, maybe if I get all those things. And I'm like, why would a guy who has all that want to be with you, who's career driven? You want to get a master's degree. You want to work 12 hours a day. Why would any guy like that want to be with you?
True.
And she was really pissed off at me for saying that to her. And, you know, unfortunately, I'm pretty sure she's like 38 years old and still not married.
Yeah.
Yep. So there you go.
I mean, like, yeah, like, listen, like the chick who's 38, you know what I mean, with a master's degree, don't fucking get on the boat. You know what I mean? Like, she's not on the deck of the boat taking selfies. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. That's just reality. You know what I mean? Like, fucking, that's kind of where shit's at.
Like, because like what I was telling her is like, why don't you just be with me? You motivate me, and I'll go get the boat for you, right?
I mean,
but she didn't want to do that. You know what I mean?
No, like, yeah, and this is the thing, right? They think that the only way you can attain success, like, I'll be real with you, right? Like, you know, like, fucking, there's my godfather, right? Fucking this guy. He did mason work his whole life. He ain't got no fucking education. He didn't even graduate fucking high school, right? And the guy has like a cabin on a fucking island and a boat and a house and fucking trucks and cars, and he has like everything that you could, bikes and everything you could possibly want. You know what I mean? Right? And that's the thing, right? It's like literally like these fucking and all these college guys, they don't have the boat and the house and the cars and any of these type of things, right? They be lucky to have a fucking house. Like the vast majority of them are living in like a fucking apartment somewhere playing fucking Fortnite. You know, that's just what it is. I don't know why that we're having these like conversations in this manner. It's fucking stupid. Like these women have unreal expectations, and the dudes, you know what I mean, like, you know, aren't like the dudes aren't standing here. I don't, how do I describe this? If you have a female, right, you know what I'm saying, and like if the first like 4 times you fuck her, she isn't thinking about having your baby, you know what I mean? Like, listen, that's not the one for you. Let's keep this all the way honest about that.
Yeah, no, that's straight up. Like I'm like pretty much, if you're not having the conversation, like the latest, the 5th date, I mean, like you said, yeah, I think you just might as well forget about it. Like, I mean, I had those conversations on like date 1 or 2 personally. So like, I mean, it was
usually it's the first night. You know what I mean? Right? And that's the mentality. Now, I mean, like, y'all can both like sober up, you know what I mean, from like all those, you know what I mean, like, you know, that new, brand new type of feeling shit, and go, yeah, listen, you know, like, it'd probably be bad to have kids at 40, you know what I mean, or whatever it is, you know what I mean, like, you can go, hey, listen, we don't need kids right now, you know what I mean, we gotta fucking get shit together. But like, at minimum, like, she should be thinking about these type of things, right? Like, I date chicks for like a week and they want to get married, you know what I mean? Like, this is what it's supposed to be, right? That's the mental, right? And the problem is like, literally, most dudes don't get that. Most dudes don't have that, like, I'm honestly, I think it's a testosterone thing. I think most dudes don't have like the ability to be that type of man with the female. You know what I mean? Where like chicks are just that impressed that they're like, listen, I want to spend the rest of my life with you. This shit is like, yo, you are the shit. Right? That's what it should be. And if that's not what it is, like I feel for you. You know what I mean? And maybe those kids, maybe these people shouldn't have kids just as a whole. Like maybe they shouldn't have children because like we probably shouldn't be producing them. You know what I mean? Like their genes aren't strong enough to be able to like have motherfuckers just wanting to reproduce them on a really base ass fucking biological level. Keep going, bro. Listen. Long ass video.
I'm going to answer you with the following. I don't believe in the glorification, and especially I see it amongst Gen Zers, of not having children. I actually think it's disgraceful, and I don't think it's a flex at all to brag about not wanting to repopulate. It just shows me that you're so insecure that you're going to be a bad parent that you're not doing it. On the other hand, I'll ask you a question in return. Would you prefer a child growing up in a damaged family with a mother who clearly wasn't ready to raise a child and raise potentially what could be a deranged child who grows up to be a serial killer or a murderer, or how about this, just a really bad person, rather than wait a few more years until she's ready to have her kid and then raise a mensch? What do you prefer?
Well, so here's what we can see when we break this down. What we see when we break this down is the abuse happens in the public school, where you're 100 times more likely to be essayed than you are if you're in a Catholic church. We see that if it is the case that you're a single mother, you are a single mother, especially by choice, that is usually the selection of stepfather that leads to the abuse of the children. We also can see.
And let's be honest here, all right? The best kids come from like fucked up ass situations, right? Like great leaders and great people don't come from like good situations. If you're like, yo, if you're a coddled ass motherfucker, you know what I mean? And like your parents waited until like they were 30 or 40 to have you. Because we all know these guys, right? As a whole, you know, they tend to be babied and they tend to be like immature forever, right? That's probably not the way that we should be raising kids. You know, like you're never ready to have kids. Number one. Number two, the other half is it's supposed to be like a community family effort, right? To raise kids. Like the problem isn't like, oh man, this mom wasn't ready. So what? No, I mean like, so what if the parents weren't ready? Like, and like, you know, having a baby is, you know what I mean? Like, is like having a dog, right? Like the first time you get a puppy ever in your life, right? Let's say you're an adult the first time you get a puppy. Are you going to know exactly what to do with it? Like, I got a kitten and I had to go fucking seek advice on what to do with a kitten, right? Because I had never had a kitten before. It's okay, right? Other people were around and went, hey, listen, this is what you have to do. And they helped me, right? That's what's supposed to fucking happen. Like, why is this so fucking complicated? Like, literally, just be supportive of the fucking parents. Why is this conversation happening? Like, what? Do you have a mother and father, an aunt and uncle, a cousin, a sister, a fucking brother, a fucking, like a friend? Do you have some people in your life who would go, yeah, listen, I feel like what would be good for this family is for them to be okay and be supported. Like, maybe, you know what I mean? Maybe not financially, but maybe at least so, right? Like maybe both sides. Like maybe it's not like you should look down on motherfuckers who are like, oh man, we have a kid, we live with our parents. Oh, cool, man. Listen, that means grandma and grandpa are there. That means like the kid gets to be around his whole family and have a whole ass culture shared with him, passing down from 3 generations. Like why? Like when you fucking Anglo fucks, I swear to God, like listen, normalizing this fucking stupid way of life.
See via the stats that you're completely just insane here. You are actually, if you stay inside of a family where you mom and dad don't even like each other, your outcomes are still better than if you, the girl boss, goes, I just don't feel fulfilled. I don't feel fulfilled. And so I need to go and date the neighbor down the road or whatever, right? The truth is that regardless of your fulfillment, children are the duty. The next generation is the duty, and women have a duty to keep the family intact as well. They're responsible for most of the divorces. They file for the most amount of divorces, not because of abuse, but because of irreconcilable differences. And when asked, I don't feel fulfilled. And it's like, that's not how we run a society. It's literally a death.
I mean, and again, like, this is just lack of community. This isn't, you know what I mean, like, oh, man, listen, you know, like, fucking, I don't feel fulfilled because, like, my husband isn't good enough. You know, it's because of the fact that they're not attached to anybody else but their fucking husband. right? They're in a neighborhood where like probably they didn't grow the fuck up, right? And they don't have friends and family and like fucking structures around them. They don't interact with people on a regular basis. They don't hang the fuck out. They don't have things to look forward to. This is literally like what this shit is. It has absolutely nothing to do with like the fucking dude. Because once they're divorced, then they're still miserable. They just get new pipe, right? You know what I mean? And then they're looking forward to getting new pipe. That's it. That's the whole deal, right? It's literally like legit. It's just having other shit to do in a new, exciting way. Like when I got divorced, I was like highly upset and I was scared. You know what I mean? I didn't know what to fucking do because I had been married for like 5-6 years and I was like, you know, I was in a routine and I had to like go and, you know what I mean, like move to a new place and like live in a 2-bedroom apartment, sleep on a futon. And I had like a bullshit ass fucking TV I found in somebody's garbage that I hooked up, right, and fucking fixed, right? And you know what I mean, like I had to stand here and like, you know, watch my fucking garbage ass flip phone or whatever, right, for like YouTube and shit. And when I fucking started like going outside and hanging out and like dealing with the neighborhood, like it was the best time of my entire life. I had never had a better time. Like it was the greatest experience I had ever had, right? For like years, I was just like fishing and working at a pizza shop and, you know, I mean, like hanging out with my neighbors and drinking and like banging broads and just like hanging out with the kids and going for hikes every day and, you know, I mean, going cricking, and it was amazing. It was the best time ever, right? And it wasn't because of the fact that like I was like divorced. It was because of the fact that like I like was part of a community. Like I didn't even get in my car. I just walked everywhere and I was in the best shape of my life, right? I went from like 250 to like 205, just walking and being in the sun. I was super tan, right? And I was exercising. Like literally, it was just, I was part of a community and I was like part of, like, I was enjoying my life. It was great. Like this whole idea of, you know what I mean, like fucking being married as being an amazing thing is like fucking stupid. Is not that. Again, it's, you're supposed to be part of a fucking community and have friends and have shit to do and have connections with other people. Like that's what makes you fulfilled as a human. Like this fucking dumb shit of like this conservative nonsense of like, well, you know, the husband and wife and the fucking his nuclear family. Shut the fuck up. Dumb. It's dumb, legit. Like this whole like, oh, I'm just expecting. This is gets back to that level. Like we were just talking about this earlier, where it's like when sex is an expectation, it ruins it, right? This whole like attitude of like, oh, I'm just expected to do the laundry. Just do the fucking laundry, bro. You don't want clean, like, bro, like every day when I get dressed, right? I wake up and, you know what I'm saying, like I go and I fucking reach for a pair of pants and a pair of clothes, a fucking shirt. I got these like black canvas boxes, right, that I screwed into the wall, right, and that's my dresser, right. I wanted to make it milk crates because, like, you know, like, listen, I missed the hood, right. I missed the hood shit, right. And like, you know, what you do is I take my shit out and I smell it and I go, like, yo, it smells amazing, right, because it smells like fresh laundry detergent. You know what I mean? I put a little spray on, it smells even better. And like, yo, I like that. I like putting on clean clothes. And I like when my clothes are done because I go, they smell so good. Like, why wouldn't that be enough to just make you want to do the fucking laundry? I'd be wanting to wash clean clothes to make them smell even better. Like, what is wrong with people? Like, listen, the dishes need done, just do them, bro. Like, what? Like, you'll just do the dishes. Like, why are you complaining? Like, just do the dishes and wipe up the fucking counters and shit. Like, today I was fucking, like, I made breakfast for me and Pops. And, like, I fucking, you know what I mean? Like, I kept stepping on things as I was barefoot. I was like, fuck this. And I fucking went and got the broom and I swept the kitchen, right? While I was cooking. Like, why is this so fucking hard? Like, it just needed done. So I did it. And Pops was like, I wasn't stepping on nothing. And I was like, well, I was. And it needed clean. So I cleaned it. like, why is this difficult? Like, motherfuckers act like shit's harder than what it is. Like, my life got eternally better once I learned that, like, listen, you just do dishes. Like, it's fucking stupid. You know what I'm saying?
Sentence for our whole society. Look at what's going on in the UK. It's a death sentence for them.
Okay, let me bring in Stasia, who's been grimacing throughout that. Stasia, why are you so outraged by what he's saying?
I'm not outraged. I just think that you all are fairly stupid. And everything that's being said is ridiculous. And it's just like a comedy show.
You think you can change your sex? How can you ever call anybody stupid? How can you ever call anybody stupid?
Yeah,
You
she
think
should
you
sit
can
that
change
one
your
out.
sex?
Hey, I'm just sitting back watching the shit show happen. I'm here for it.
All right,
How is that
Julie,
possible?
You started the shit
you were
show,
not.
honey.
Well, hang on. I want to get Julie to respond to Andrew.
Oh, I zoned out and I thought I'd woken up in the 1950s in some TARDIS. You can't take him seriously. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, listen, you know what I mean? Like, fucking... This dumb shit of, like, recalling back to the 1950s is fucking stupid. Right? Real shit. Like, the 1950s is not, like, what you want to, like, go back to, right? What you should probably want to go back to is, like, the 1880s, right? Like, not the 1950s, right? Because, like, maybe even before that, like, let's keep it a beat. Let's go back to, like, the 1680s, 1670s, right? That's probably a better time period to aim to, right? Like, not the motherfucking, you know, the fucking 1950s. Like, I get, like, the whole... oh, you know, 1950s male authority, you know what I mean? Like, fucking Leave It to Beaver shit. But, like, you know, it wasn't good for either one of us. Like, that shit was trash for the both of us, right? Like, literally, like, the dudes were stuck in this position where they had to go, like, earn fucking money every day and, like, you know, fucking, like, you know, take care of all this fucking nonsense, and they drunk themselves fucking stupid because life was boring and retarded, right? The women were fucking standing here dosing themselves up with, like, Quaaludes and I mean, whatever fuck else to fucking, you know, basically lobotomize themselves and shit, right? Like, that's not, you know, I mean, like, a positive thing. And, like, the whole family as a whole was just, like, robotic. And the dad had to, like, whoop motherfuckers' asses to make them conform with, like, the fucking norms of society, which, again, was fucking garbage. Like, the 1950s was trash. Let's keep this a buck, right? Let's go back to, like, having real communities and families and structures that actually operate in a proper level. By the way, what up, man?
What up? I'm reminded of the Sopranos episode where he's arguing with his kids and the wife, and he says, you know, he points to outside the window and he's like, 2004? He points inside the house, 1954.
Fucking.
So that's,
yeah.
Well, that speaks to a lot of points. You know, that's the point of the strong men. Like, obviously, he's a fucking gangster, right? So that's that hyperstophilia going on. Where women are just attracted to dangerous men. That's like the Luigi shit that's going on, right? All these women are like, oh, he's so handsome.
No,
and he's
listen,
a murderer.
listen. You know what I mean? Like, yo, he's just in general handsome. You know what I mean? Like, fucking, I have met this dude like 55 fucking times, and he's always dripping in bitches. You know what I mean? Like, this is not...
Well, yeah, women are superficial. They obviously value appearance.
Well, yeah.
There's a lot to the subject. I mean, I think in the end you're right about, you know, community being healthier for, you know, humanity at large. But shit ain't like that. Like, this is a luxury of excess calories. All of this anxiety, all of these thoughts, you know. Like, you know me, I'm a classic misogynist now. I wasn't before, but now I kind of am. We're listening to a bunch of people that if you landed on a desert island would be functionally useless, and this has been proven on live TV for entertainment.
Yeah,
I mean, am I wrong?
I remember. Like, yo, that shit was fucking hilarious. Listen, let's keep going.
Oh, you mean in the 1950s? You mean in the 1950s when we had intact families where 95% of women were getting married as virgins, where families weren't being broken up, where crime was extremely low, where you only needed one income to support an entire household, where mental illness was at an all-time low? Like that 1950s? I'm sorry that I make a reference to a time.
Yeah,
Sir,
are you married? Are you married?
Yeah, I'm married. How do you make married with many children?
Is your
How
wife
about
happy?
You married with children? Oh, she's ecstatic.
No, I'm 23. I'm a boss lady girl, which seems to be driving you crazy.
Yeah.
Working, making money,
I'm just pointing
waiting
out,
for the right guy to come
the
along.
only thing you have no arguments. You just try to assault me personally. You can try, but the truth is that I've reproduced. I am
How
married.
did I assault
do
you?
have
I
the
asked
life.
you if you're married.
No, you didn't. You were making a passive-aggressive
I mean,
feminist.
to be fair,
how
to
did
be
I
fair to
assault
about how
Andrew,
my wife must be
liberal.
miserable.
Andrew,
Your wife must be miserable.
To be fair, Andrew is
She might
practicing
be.
what he preaches. I want to I want to bring in another clip from a debate between Megyn Kelly and Matt Walsh on the similar theme. Let's watch a little clip from this.
Again, having said that, I like the guy. I'm getting a little tired of his nonstop judgment of women who make different choices than the ones he wants us to make. Sorry, Matt, you're not our Jesus. We don't answer to you. Like, live your life the way you want to live it and stop judging everybody who makes a different choice. I'm sick of it.
Overt feminist.
And she went on to say this about young men not wanting to marry career women. Let's take a listen to this.
We're now telling young, conservative, amazing women that they're not attractive if they also work. If they choose to, let's say, do what I'm doing and what you're doing and like get their voice out there. But I'll stick with me just because I think conservatives listening to this will like the thought of another Megyn Kelly voice up and coming.
Now, Matt Walsh responded by saying men are generally not attracted to ambitious career.
Yeah, listen, we've already said this, right? Okay, look. Me, Neuro, Mountain, all right? We are all over 6 foot, all, you know what I mean, in shape dudes, you know what I'm saying, who make money, you know what I mean, and like have been personally vetted by females to breed with, right? So understand, we are in the top 10% of men on the fucking planet. We, you know what I'm saying, as a whole, are not concerned with how much a woman makes. None of us are like on our list go, yeah, listen, I want a chick who's, you know what I'm saying, like 5'6", 150 pounds with big titties and, you know what I mean, birthing hips. Oh, and on top of that, we want her to have a college degree and like fucking work 13 hours a day. We want her to be ambitious. None of us say that. I've never heard a man say, I want a woman with ambition. Not one of us, ever. That's the mentality. Keep it all the way funky.
Well, hang on a minute. I want to read a clip from Matt Walsh, or a quote. He said, men are generally not attracted to ambitious, career-driven women, and women's first priority should be children and looking after the home. So, Emily, what do you think of that? If you've ever felt like you're being watched online, it's unfortunate because you are. Hundreds of companies, so-called data brokers, watch and record everything you do on the internet. Even if you're using incognito mode or private tabs, they can still access every purchase you make, every search you type, and much more. Your data can be sold to advertisers, government agencies, or insurance companies who could use it and
she's ready, 2 or 3 children, then go for that type of woman. If you want a woman who's, and that's the great part is
PC World and The Verge. And right now,
I was trying to skip over, bro.
4 months
it's hard to like pinpoint it.
For free. To scan the QR code.
Also bear in mind that PIERS is a formulaic rage baiter.
PIERS to get 4 extra months for free. That's expressvpn.com/PIERS.
Yeah, listen, these memes are based.
I think the beauty about free will is you make a choice who you want to spend your life with. Like, I know many men are okay with, you know, a woman who works, and I know many men are not. And that's the great part is you choose who you want to partner with. So if you want a woman to be home and have 5, 6, 7, 8 children, which is a beautiful choice to make in life.
Yo, listen, it's not about like being okay, right? And this is the fucking problem. Is like, it's not about being okay with shit, right? It's about, is this what you want? Right? So like,
you don't got a choice. The state enforces their will on you.
No. That's not what I'm saying, right? That's not what I'm saying at all, right? What I'm saying is that, like, what do you want as a man, right? So, like, women, if you want to be attractive to a man, right? No dude is looking for a woman with a master's degree, other than maybe general. You know what I'm saying? Who wants, like, a mommy. You know what I mean? And he wants to date his mother so he can disrespect her. You know what I mean? But he got issues, and I'm pretty sure you don't want to date general. Right, let's keep this all the way honest. You know what I'm saying, Mountain?
Yeah, well, not to beat on Homeboy because he's not here, but that represents a fair percentage of the modern man in their dilemma.
Does it?
I think it does, yeah. Where, you know, you could be a terrible ass person. Like, you could be like a fucking, you know, average looking dude with an average means and not have your shit together and not really be able to provide decent leadership as a man and still have a family because the women had no choice. That's the female rebellion in a nutshell. Is like, I don't want to be Shaq to do like this. I want a choice. So the 10% man thing was always consistent. Like, what's the stat? Only 8% of men throughout human history have passed on their genes.
I think it's like 18, but like, yeah, I feel you. Right?
It's low.
Yeah, it is low. Right? And this is, we talked about this earlier, right? It's basically the government is a better husband than the fucking father is, than like a man is. Right? It's just a more consistent thing. Right? And this gets back to,
yes.
Yeah, this gets back to like the whole thing of, you know, like fucking the economy is supposed to serve people, the people aren't supposed to serve the economy. Right? Like, that's how this is supposed to work. Like, the economy is supposed to serve us. Like, and if it's not serving us, then, like, you know, we have a fucking problem. That's the mental. Like, if you can't go to work and have, like, one job and, like, provide, like, a, you know what I mean, like, a I'm not going to say it comfortable, but, like, you know, like, at least a living for, like, you know what I mean, you and a wife and a child, then your economy is not serving the fucking people. That's where the fuck
we're in a conundrum now, right? So if magically tomorrow, right, by executive order or the appearance of Jesus, like anything, all of a sudden it went back to that where women had no capacity to earn and they had to rely on some men. Most of the men are not suitable. Like, their mental's all fucked up. We're kind of stuck in this position now.
I feel you. Right? Like, we're in a position where, like, you know, we have had these college level elites, you know what I mean, like, running things for so fucking long that, like, what they're saying is that, you know, fucking, like, they're like, oh, well, the GDP has to go up because, like, oh, fucking, that's the only thing that matters is, like, a GDP goes up, we remain in power, and our systems remain, and institutions remain in place. That's it. Right? They can't, like, go, well, like, listen, this isn't working anymore, we need to find some other way to fucking do this. Right? Because, like, the only way they can do is go, well, we can't just get rid of this. We can't, like, fucking, you know what I mean, renege on our promises because that makes us fallible. Like, it's literally like, it's, the government sees itself as a god, right? And so if the god is fallible, then the god no longer exists.
Well, the God demands sacrifice. So abortion number one. Dude, abortion number one. Of course it is.
I don't think it demands, like, motherfucking sacrifice. It's not that. Like, that's the economy.
Literally
that's the economy. Yeah. That's not the government. That's the economy. The government just does what the economy needs.
It's short-sightedness. It's that quarterly earnings expectation. It's tomorrow doesn't matter. What's your earnings today? How many sales did you make today? Kill your baby so that I know that you're going to be here at work tomorrow to make a sales phone call or do whatever the fuck it is you do. And a lot of their jobs are bullshit to begin with. It's not valid. It's not real. And yes, the lexicon of the modern mind is in terms of economics. And all right, let me tell you a story real quick.
Okay.
My dad's been remarried like a million times. Never fucking learns.
Right.
And my brother is in his 20s now. Like I said, he's got $250,000 in fucking college debt, which is obviously retarded. And he's doing something that earns a decent money, but it's like in sports, it has nothing to do with what he studied. And his mother said, well, it turns out he's not going to make any money. I don't even know why I had him.
What's up, boy?
Like, that's females in general. They interpret the world through, like, these economic fucking definitions.
Again, right, this gets back to, like, the government being a more reliable husband than, you know what I mean, like, the dude that they marry, right? It's that level, right? And, like, I understand, like, it is a transaction. Like, all of life is a transaction, right? So, of course, like, if you're a female, you know what I mean, and you look at this, you look at a kid and go, oh, well, he didn't make any money, so fuck him. You know what I mean? Like, I understand that mentality, right? But, like, ultimately, it's this mental of, you know, the government going, well, you know, like, you're not, like, you as a human being, right, are, like, fucking, you're not, how do I put this? You as a human being, right, like, you're fucking, you get to collect, like, fucking Social Security when you get old. So therefore, you're not tied to your kids. Now, if that mom sat there and had to rely on that son, it wouldn't be like, oh, why'd I have him? You know what I'm saying? That's the mental.
True. But I think females in general intrinsically don't value things the way we value them. Like, we build relationships and bonds. They're very fickle and they don't. Like, it doesn't matter how many years and dollars you poured into a relationship. As soon as they get that ick and the tickle and the state permisses them to take half your shit and move on to the next dick, so be it. Fuck you.
Well, yeah, again, but this comes back to like the lack of community, right? Because like when you have a community around that's enforcing like the social bonds and like the basic understanding of how like relationships are supposed to operate, right? That shit doesn't happen.
I think it has more to do with shame. I think the mechanism that keeps the
yeah. Again, community
is the community like making it
that's
unfashionable. It's the scarlet letter, right? It's too painful to their ego to do these things, but as soon as it becomes part of this grand narrative that it's acceptable and fashionable to be divorced, you know, you're the Zsa Zsa Gabor. Now everybody's fucking Zsa Zsa Gabor. Look at me and all my divorce earnings. Go me. It's not a human value. It's disturbing.
Well, I mean, they're not supposed to be human values. Right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, this is government. You know what I mean? Like, government rules on, like, a majority thing. That's why, like, when we had these conversations, right? It's like, oh, the boomers, oh, women, you know what I mean? All this, you know, men, all these type of things. Because, like, we got this from the idea of the government, right? We don't see each other as people. We don't see each other as communities. We don't see each other as families or nations or, like, a people, right? We see each other as, like, these big-ass economic, like, fucking groups. Right? That's why, like, I made that fucking thing about, like, fucking, you know, like, you know, you have different identities, right? Because, like, you know, that's how that operates. You know, like, you're not an individual until you get down to, like, a family level, right? Until you get inside of your household at the end of the day. That's where we are. Listen, let's keep going on this shit. We got like 19 fucking minutes or 18 minutes left in this bit.
Then go for it. If you want a woman who can do both, work and have children when she's ready, 2 or 3 children, then go for that type of woman. If you want a woman who's never home and going to be, you know, on the road all the time, and trust me, there are many beta men who would love that, then go for that. Like, nobody is forcing you to be with a woman that doesn't cater to your needs. The same way no one's forcing any women to be with a guy like Andrew Tate that's
I don't even think it's like beta males who want that, right? I think that, like, you know what I mean, like, you know, having a female who's gone all the time and not around, right? That works for dudes who like are fucking like 7 or 8 different broads. You know what I mean? Like, that's really that guy. You know what I mean? Like, you think you're the only relationship that dude has? You know what I mean? Like, if you're gone constantly, like, yo, listen, he's fucking happy because he gets to go do whatever the fuck he wants. You know, in particular, do whoever the fuck he wants. That's the big thing.
going to beat you and make you miserable. We have.
What up?
The opinion of pretty blonde girl who thrives on attention, who's obviously in 20 years going to be like, where are all the good men? This shit's fucking like rote at this point.
Not wrong.
Did you see the recent Jeff Bezos with his penis ship, right? What's it called again? Blue something.
Blue Origin.
Whatever.
Blue Origin.
Yeah, Blue Origin. They just sent up like Katy Perry, and they're.
You tagged me. I watched that. Why did I watch that? Why did you send that to me?
I didn't send it. I just happened to see it.
No. You tagged me with it. I was like, why did you tag me? Yeah. I was. It might not have been you, but I'm pretty sure it was. I was like, why did you tag me with this? Like, why am I watching this? I don't know why.
I just saw it. Well, I mean, it's just like the female would rather take selfies in space than look at space. Like, if you had 4 minutes in space, would you be looking in the capsule with the fucking stuffed animal and, you know, make sure to check out my stream? Or you'd be like, wow, fucking space. Look, man, damn.
I mean, both, right? And I mean, like, imagine the views you would get. Right? Come on now. Imagine the views you would get. You know what I'm saying? Like, how that's a money-making opportunity there, right? Like, it's still business in the end of the day, right?
I would stream space and make fun of flat earthers.
Based. Listen, let's keep going. No, let's keep going.
Choices, and we need to make calculated, wise choices as to what personally is best for you.
The Andrew Tate fallacy. Moving over to Andrew Tate is evil and a representation of men who believe in a patriarchal system. Here's the truth. The truth of the matter is that we should be doing for society what is socially good for society. If we can't reproduce our society, that's a really bad social ill for society. When you have propaganda that is telling women to go get useless degrees
is for me
in
and
psychology
my husband, it's
and
not
sociology.
for society.
society works so that your
She's
uterus is
retarded.
productive and you can keep eating.
She's clearly retarded.
You know,
But good for her. Like, we've enabled her to be retarded.
well, you see the Star of David around her neck, you know what I mean? So, like, you know,
Kill your children, Goyim.
we have stood here and, like, allowed these individuals to think that, like, life is not transactional for way too long. Just way too fucking long. Like, real shit. Like, yo,
Yeah, but it's okay because there are such a thing as like healthy transactions.
oh, I agree, right? But we have allowed them to think that life is not transactional, right? Like, they think that they just get shit. You know what I mean? They're like, just, oh, I'm doing things because I want to. Like, no, you're doing things because, like, that transaction operates correctly for society. You know what I mean? That's why the fuck, like, you have a duty to your society and your people, right? Whether or not you realize that or not is up to you. And that Jew knows that, right? That Jew understands that inherently, right? Because, like, they were taught this shit from birth, the same as I was. Anybody who's part of an immigrant society knows these things, right? They fucking know it because your parents told you you're part of something bigger than yourself. You know this. Like, get the fuck out of here with your bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, yo, that's the one cool thing about being part of an immigrant fucking family is, like, they fucking explain to you, you're part of something bigger than yourself. You have a duty to that. Your ancestors are looking at you, right? 100%. Every Jew and every Italian and every goddamn fucking Mexican is told this. Puerto Rican, the whole nine. They're in Native Americans. They're told this. I don't know about the Indians, but, like, listen, do they have brains to, like, have conversations? I don't know. Listen, let's keep.
You know, there's different castes, but all right, go ahead.
Let's keep going.
Yeah, that's great.
It's
finish.
actually
Andrew,
it's quite
Andrew,
sad.
hang on. There's Andrew quickly. Is Megyn Kelly a covert feminist then? By your
Not
criteria?
covert, overt. She's an overt feminist. Covert's out for Megyn Kelly. Megyn Kelly came out and said women should be prioritizing career over family. That's what Matt Walsh's issue was with her, and he's absolutely right. The guy struck it out of the ballpark. Socially, in society, we should be moving women into a familial role. It's not to say that women can't work. Nobody's saying women can't work. We're just saying that if you're going to glorify things in society, it should be the mother in the intact home and the wife and the caretaker at home, not the girl boss. That's insane. And it's a societal death sentence. Walsh knows it. Everybody knows this at this point. If you can't reproduce your own nation, you don't have a nation.
Do you know how...
Okay, Julie, you wanted to jump in there.
I mean, do you know how insecure and pathetic you sound? You can't take you seriously.
Eat another donut,
I get
lady.
That I'll just finish. I get
Fucking
that
based.
you reckon that you're some big shock jock, and I know that you're desperately trying to be relevant, but you sound so insecure and so pathetic.
Yeah,
you are
sign language.
Do you have an
irrelevant.
argument?
What up?
Sign language. Shame, insult, guilt need to be right. Typical. They're enabled to do this. This is the issue, right?
I know. Right. Like, listen, this broad looks like my grandmother, you know what I'm saying? And, like, you know, this is like I said this when this fucking stream started off, you know what I mean? Like, this dude cannot stand here. You know what I mean? Like, you can't approach these people this way. Right? You can't come over the top with haymakers and, like, stand here and go, oh man, listen, facts don't care about your feelings. Right? That doesn't help. Yeah, I mean,
That's
you're
the
not.
Piersmorgan show, though. It's this show is not designed to create consensus and heal relationships. It's designed to perpetuate this fucking argument, this fight, make all the girl bosses feel justified, even though when they're fat, old, and sexual market value 0 or less than, still feel justified in their opinions and their thoughts and beliefs.
Nah. Listen. You should go on this bitch, right? Like, real shit. Like, yo, deepen your voice up. You know what I'm saying? Yo, look in the camera. You know what I mean? And, like, just, yo, literally, like, you know what I mean? Just mind rape all these, bro. You know what I mean? Just fucking
That's not
stand
the
here.
design of the show. That would be your show. That's not what Piersmorgan does.
No,
I'm
but
telling
you
this
have
is
to
mass media.
listen.
This is designed to keep it going.
Yeah, I feel you, right? But, like, this is literally, like, how you win this argument, right? And this is how you stop them from making you look like a fucking, you know what I mean? Look like it. Making them be able to say these things and have any fucking weight behind it. You know what I mean? Right? Like, you got to disarm this bullshit, right? You got to make them into the fucking bullies. You can't like be the bully. Like being the bully does not help you in any way in this fucking conversation.
I mean, I'm agreeing with you, but it's not going to happen because that's not the goal of the show. And by the way, the reason that females want their financial independence is because guys are more pragmatic with their spending. If they see that their credit limits are being maxed and their debt is, all their income is just going to debt service, they're going to put an end to it. And the female will have negative feelings because she can't just buy shit. Like, fuck you, I'll make my own money then and just buy whatever I want.
100%.
If they were reliant on you or me, we were like, what do you mean $500 for nails? Get the fuck out of here. Well, here comes the state. Let's leverage all that fucking shekels out of your bank into mine. Because I'm going to get my nails, damn it.
Let's keep
Very
Argument.
insecure.
Can you put the Duncan down for a second and give me an argument? Do you have an argument? Or is it just
Sorry, I
Andrew
haven't heard
bad?
one from you.
Yes,
I don't-
I've given you multiple arguments for the social fabric of all of society and how we can improve it, what we need to be doing, what we need to be moving towards. I gave you all the stats. I gave you argument after argument. Can you give me a single argument?
All the stats. You are the oracle. You know all about the universe and what's going to progress.
Sign language from
Yeah.
a spent broad.
Yo, listen, bro. Like real shit.
Sad.
Okay, again, right? And I mean, like, all you has to do is go, listen, how does Social Security remain solvent if we don't have more people to be able to pay for the fucking old?
Mm-hmm.
That's all you had to
That's a
do.
good point.
That's all you had to do.
Mm.
Like, why, like, ask that question. Right? And they go, well, we can bring in massive amounts of immigrants. Well, like, are you okay with, like Sharia law? Because, like, listen, those are the only, like, Latin America's out. Right? They're damn near out of fucking people. Like, all you're going to get is Muslims and Africans coming in here. And half of them are fucking Muslim. Like, the fuck do you want?
That
Like,
feeds into their rape fantasy, so they might go for that. They'll justify anything at this point.
no. Again, so like you just ask these questions, right? You just ask these questions, really simple, really easy. Like, listen, how are your institutions going to work? How do you take out debt to continue to make these fucking payments for these social systems if you don't have enough fucking people? Right? This is about the social.
Why are we at a
fabric.
level where we're thinking about ways to reason with women? That's crazy.
Yeah, but like you have to make that argument. That way motherfuckers are thinking about it in that term. Like, all right, so, man, listen. I was having a conversation with my pops, right, the other day, right? And I said the issue with, like being intelligent is, like, I went and grabbed an apple out of the fridge and I put the apple on the table. I said, the problem is when you look at that apple when you're intelligent, you don't see the apple, you see the core, right? You go, listen, you don't see like the meat and the fucking cover, and you don't see like the good stuff that's good about that apple. What you do is you see the end result because you see like 10 steps down the road. The dummies, though, don't see 10 steps down the road. They only see the apple, right? That's the issue. And so you have to explain this to the fucking dummies who watch this stupid content. That you go, listen, if you don't have more babies in order to pay for more social spending later on, because everything is based off of debt, all right, because of inflation and money printing, then you're not going to be able to have like a nation or a state as a whole. It will all fall down and collapse. If you don't have more people buying things and more people working, the cost of labor goes up, which means that the stock goes down, which means that your retirement collapses. This is how this works. It's that simple, right? You have to explain it to them because they don't get it. He's going with first order effects, right? And then he's going end result. He's not explaining the process. And you have to explain. This is fucking 49 minutes long. There's fucking, you can take 2 minutes and explain this. That's the fucking problem. You know what I'm saying? You act like we're all like 130, 140 IQ. The average person watching this is like 88. You know what I'm saying? That's the issue. That's why he sounds like a dummy right now, right? That's why, like, they're able to say this stupid shit of like, oh, blah, 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 right? And you go, that's why you do have a duty, right? Because if you're willing to take out the money later on, there's a transaction involved. You have to produce more people to pay for it.
Yeah, true. But do you think this shows, the scope of this show is to...
Yes.
Make people think like smart things and fix things?
No, yes,
or is it
yes,
just
yes.
for rage bait and sell ads?
Yes. Right? Yes.
I don't.
I think, listen, I agree with you, right? But again, this is red meat for the carnivores, right? But like what we're doing is we're going like, listen, Andrew Wilson, if you want to dunk on these broads, dunk the whole way and make them actually look fucking stupid, right? Don't stand here and say things that your audience is going to get because you've explained it on your fucking live streams on the Crucible, right? But like you haven't explained like fucking to the national audience about this. As the average person doesn't understand what's going on. Like the average person was told for the past 50 years that we have overpopulation, not under.
Yeah, they were teaching that for a while.
Again, this is why it is that I'm saying the words I'm saying right now. I'm not saying this because, like, you know, I'm going like, oh, we need to change the format of the show. I'm saying this because, like, again, if you want to dunk on these fucking people, make them actually look dumb. Explain why it is that the shit that they're saying is fucking retarded. You have to break it down. And you have to say, listen, the 1950s was trash. Tell them, yes, it was trash. Right? 100%. Women were hostages in their own homes. Dudes were like literally put in charge of shit and given no guidance. Right? Everybody moved to the fucking suburbs and nobody had like fucking intact fucking communities or fucking families. Like the whole shit was trash. Right? Everything was garbage about it. Right? It was all fake. It was all based off of the fact that we were the only economy of scale. So therefore, like, we fucking had the opportunity to be able to like fucking sell goods to the rest of the world. And I mean, have manufacturing and have fucking service work and have everything that was involved. Right? That's not a fact anymore. China exists. Japan exists. Korea exists. Germany exists. We have competitors and we have had them for the past 40 fucking years. And we haven't had that conversation about why it is that things are the way they are. Right? You have to break this shit the fuck down. You got to. And if you don't do it, then like literally they're going to have these same stupid fucking looks on their faces looking at you going, you're such a piece of shit. Right? When you break it down, you go, listen, we're in a fucking crisis right now. You don't understand how bad things are. I know that what you've been taught, right? I get it. I was taught the same things you were. They were wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, I mean, let's keep going though. Finish the shit up.
Rest humankind. You're just
It's not,
a shock
it's
jock,
not
mate.
psychic ability.
You're just pathetic. Nobody's going to
No
listen
arguments.
to you. You're an
Wendy, are you going to have
aggressive,
an
insecure
argument?
man.
I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. This is going to go
seriously.
Well, this is going to go viral, and a lot of people are going to take me seriously, and all they're going to remember is that I told you that you couldn't put down the Dunkin' Donuts long enough to make an argument. Now, can you make one or not?
Oh, you know, this is schoolboy.
By the way,
tactic.
a real
It's
man
schoolboy.
doesn't speak down to a woman the way you do.
I don't care what you think.
You're not a real man.
Is.
You're actually
I
very
don't care
feminine
what
if
you
you
think
ask
a real
me.
man
You're
is.
a
Don't
very
care.
feminine man.
Yeah, nobody cares what you think real men are.
You're
sound
pathetic,
super feminine.
mate.
Yeah.
And how
nobody cares what you think a real man
think
is.
that you're such
I'm
a
sure your wife's
big
very happy
boy
at
by slating, bringing in
You're so mad.
personal
So
personal
mad.
insults about women's
You start. Hey,
I'm actually very
appearance.
I'm sorry.
Wow,
I'm sorry. You guys
I
think that you're
feel
going to
for
show
you
people.
when
We
you
can't
go
say
out
anything back.
into the big wide world from behind your macho
Well, one day when I go out in the
podcast
big
studio
wide
there.
world, I hope people will take me as seriously as they do women who make zero arguments
Wait, why are you
on a
on
show
Pierce
like this.
Morgan? Shouldn't you go be working right
Why
now
are
and making
you?
money for your
Why-
family to
I
support?
am
How do you have
working.
time to
Making
I'm
a ton of
working. I don't
money. What
have
are you
kids.
talking about?
I don't have a husband.
You're
I'm
saying that
23
you
years
can't
old.
make
I'm not
money?
married with kids yet, but
you
it
can't
seems like
make
you should go
money
be working
podcasting?
right now to fulfill your gender role as a big,
I
strong man.
am working right now.
Oh, we'll get to work.
Well, let me
That's what I
ask.
do
Let me
for a
ask.
living. I
You're
don't know
not
what
being
you're
paid to
talking
be
about.
here.
Yo, fucking
Wrangle the
ESP.
tards, Piers.
Yo, ESP said fucking
Wrangle
the
the
real
tards.
man. The real man is in the middle.
Based. Fucking Gorlock's cousin.
Like, yo, listen, bro. Like, yo, look, Andrew Wilson, bro. Like, real shit. Okay, like. He somehow took a trans debate, right, and turned it into like everybody like turning on him. This is like he is not like I get the fact he's making money for Piersmorgan, he's making money for himself, and he's like fucking clip farming at the moment. I get that, right, 100%. I understand his purpose, right, but like, dog, you are making things way worse. Like, yo, real shit. Right, I understand like the Jew broad, you know what I mean, who's standing here, you know what I mean, like fucking, you know, going, oh, you know, fucking blah, 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 blah. You know, you're not a real man. Real men don't talk down to women. Like, that bitch should probably be like, fucking, listen, hold up. Let's throw the fucking meme up, bro. Let's throw the meme up real quick. Yo, listen. Yo.
Jew broad is rejecting her culture. Real Jew broads they don't go on TV. and they do have babies, and she would have had like 3 kids by now.
Base. By the way, she's 23 years old. Yeah, I'll say this.
She's 23. She would have had her first kid at like fucking 18.
How old does she look? How old does she look?
She looks fucking 40. She doesn't look 23 at all.
You're older than me? Bruh. Bruh, that is a 40-year-old bitch. I swear to God.
Well, look, they get jacked up on all sorts of chemicals and lip fillers and, you know, beauty products. Like, they look old now.
I said when she first started, like, yo, she got the cocaine nose.
No, that's a funny way to say meth mountain.
Cocaine. It's cocaine. It's not meth.
No,
and
you
heroin.
Look at her fucking collarbones, right? Like, she looks like her fucking skin's sucked in.
Cocaine.
Yeah, that's Ozempic. She's got Ozempic face.
Cocaine.
You know, Peas, you might be onto something. She kind of looks like the blonde from Scarface.
Yeah, it's cocaine. I'm telling you. It's coke. That's what it is. It's coke and heroin. I know that look. 100%. I've met these, bro. That's coke and heroin, bro. Like, that broad sits around in fucking, like, you know, rooms with her homies and fucking smokes weed, fucking with, like, coke on top of it. You know what I mean? Sniff rails off of dudes' dicks, you know what I'm saying? And fucking, like, you know what I mean? Bangs rails of heroin into her veins and shit. You know what I mean? On a late night tip. Right? And she drinks like a fucking fish.
Yeah,
like,
boss babe.
Yeah.
Wife material.
Yeah. Listen, I know this broad. You know what I mean? Like, I've met this broad many a goddamn times. Like, I know this bitch. Right? And then the feminist over here on the left-hand side with her snide-ass fucking, you know what I mean, self-assured fucking grin with them fucking shifty-ass eyes and shit. I'll be honest, she kind of looks like my grandma. I'm going to keep it 100% honest with you. Right? But, like, you know.
Well, the grandma on, like,
my mom's
dad's side?
On my mom's side. She looks like my grandma on my mom's side a little bit. Right? She had the same. My grandma, she, like, been through, like, chemo for, like, the past, like, fucking. Fuck. Yo, listen, like, 15, 20 years. You know what I mean? So she got, like, short hair and shit. You know what I mean? Like, fucking, you know, she's, like, pudgy. You know what I mean? She's a little Italian broad. She's a little fat chick. You know what I mean? With, like, a short-ass bob haircut and shit. But yeah. Except she got brown eyes, right? And bigger cheeks and, like, a little bit wider of a face. The same type of fucking look. Almost identical type of look, right? But, like, yeah, like, legit, this is, you know what I mean, silent gen and boomer mentality, like, exposed. And then the Gorlock broad in the middle, you know what I mean, literally hasn't, this debate was supposed to be about, like, fucking trans shit, right? You know what I mean? And, like, it just, Gorlock has been just sitting here, like, doing reactions for TikTok. Like, and Andrew Wilson's just, he's bad at his job. I'm going to keep it 100. Other than, if his job is clip farming, he's doing a great job. But other than that, he's terrible.
That's what it is. He understands he's not going to fix anything with fucking reason, and, you know, you can't appeal to honor with these boss babes.
Not listen. They don't give a fuck. Yo, look. What you're looking for is the 100th monkey. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, fair enough.
I have no idea what that means.
All right, so okay, here's the mental, fucking young, right? The mental is why the fuck you keep adjusting? Stop adjusting. Right. All right. So the mental is basically there was on this island, right, where they had done like nuclear tests, and everything was fine except for like these coconut husks were, you know what I mean, like fucking radioactive, right? And so like they took a few of the monkeys and they taught them, like 3 or 4 of them, how to like fucking wash, you know what I'm saying, like the coconut husks in like this local stream to be able to like wash off some of the radioactive dust on them, right? And fucking, so like, you know what I mean, these monkeys went over and started doing it, and like, you know what I mean, like fucking the first 5 that were taught doing it. And as like all these monkeys come to the stream and start like fucking, you know, all these monkeys are eating coconuts, like fucking all of a sudden like 8, 10 of them are doing it, right? And then 12, and then 15, right? And then, you know what I mean, like fucking 30, and then 50. And then all of a sudden when it's the 100th monkey fucking starts doing it, all the monkeys did it at once.
Around the world, by the way, which is unexplainable.
Yeah, right.
It kind of ties into like quantum mechanics. Like
yeah. But like, I'm not. Listen, we're not going that way, right? But I'm saying like, you're looking for your 100th monkey, right? You want to build on like, you know, just standing here, putting that message out over and over and over and over and over again until it catches fire, right? And then like, as soon as you get like enough people to say it, everybody starts saying it. Everybody understands it.
So basically, a new meme. All right, I get the reason.
Yeah.
But Andrew's not your guy. I think he's burnt out from doing that whatever podcast with all like the retarded street bitches. And that's now he's captured by his audience, so he has no choice but to stay relevant, do these rage bait click farmings.
I feel you. It's kind of why I like my position.
But anyway,
we can affect things, and at the same time, you know what I mean, like not have to do that shit. Yeah, listen, what have I always said, bro? It's better to be like Machiavelli, you know what I mean, like guiding the top end people, than actually be like the top end people.
Here's my new random retarded thought. Like these people that argue for this existence, they are valuable to the government, but they're not valuable to any one community. They have nowhere left to go. They have no choice but to shield for the institutions.
I know. It's like the boomers. You know what I mean? That's why they're fucking protesting. They're fucked up. You know what I mean? They're completely lost and they don't know what to do. And they won't fucking stand here and say, I'm sorry, kids. I treated you badly. You know what I mean? Like, let's fix this. They don't have the wherewithal.
It's the era of cognitive dissonance. It's the overall mantra.
Based. All right, let's keep going.
Yes, lady. I'm going to get paid a lot of money ultimately to be here. You have no idea what you're talking about. If you saw my bank account, what I make doing stuff like this, it would make you weep.
Show us your bank account to make yourself feel more secure.
Weep. Yeah, hey, the only thing you could think of was to try to assault my bank account, lady.
Assault?
That's it. It's the only thing you can think of. The only thing you can think of is you don't work enough. You don't work enough. It's ridiculous.
Let me play. I want to play Emily. I want to play Emily a clip. This has gone viral too. It's had 120 million views. There's a woman who suggests she's about to leave her husband because he doesn't do enough domestic chores. Let's take a look.
If you do not participate in an equitable way in your home, and so what does that look like? What does it look like to change these dynamics? Well, we need to really assess in our homes what the work looks like, because in most homes, the data supports this. Women do a disproportionate amount of the work. They just do. They do more of the cooking and the cleaning and the laundry and the childcare while also working full time. And men have more time for things like their hobbies, like golf, for example, or just working out, running a marathon, right? And so we need to have hard conversations about what our time looks like, what our labor in the home looks like, what is invisible labor. We have to talk about these things. And when we don't, the alternative is that you no longer have a marriage, or you don't have a happy one at least. And so I share this story because I don't think I'm alone in this experience. And I want people to know that there's hope, and that if you have a willing and able partner, you can change this. You can absolutely change this.
I mean, Emily.
Yo, listen. Like I said this earlier, bro, like real shit, do the fucking dishes, bro. Like real shit. You should want to be clean. Like it's fucking dumb not to be clean. You know what I mean?
Fine, but here's the deal with this particular fucking random rage bait that's gone viral. She's a TikTok influencer for a living. The dude is a lineman. And all she was doing was escalating his chores. The guy comes, you know what being a lineman is like.
Yeah. It's a rough job.
You're on the pole, you're in the rain, it's fucked up, it's hard.
It's one of the, it's like being a fisherman, bro. It's like one of them like super dangerous jobs.
She literally stays at home and makes fucking clips. She can do the goddamn dishes. It sounds great because obviously she's going to frame it as if she's the victim, but there's no pleasing this cunt. She's literally every cunt.
I mean, you know what I mean? Like,
she's wrong in this particular instance. Like if she was like, look, I'm a fucking trauma nurse and I'm out all hours and we're ships in the night, blah, blah, blah. I'd say, okay, that sounds fair.
Yeah.
She's literally fucking full of shit.
Yeah, if she had like a regular job, I would agree with you, right? Or like if she had a regular job, I would disagree. Yeah, I would say, you know what I mean, like 100%, you know what I mean, like that's where it is. But like here's where I'm at. And like everybody who's in a normal relationship, right? Just do the fucking dishes, bro. Like do the laundry, you know what I'm saying?
Who
like
doesn't?
Clean the fucking house.
Do that shit. Usually it's the woman who busts your balls. Oh, you did the laundry wrong. Like, okay, then I won't fucking do it. Like they literally fucking trap you into that. Well, you never do the dishes. You keep telling me I do them wrong. It's like either ask me to do the job or bust my balls, but not both. You know what I mean?
Well,
leave me alone. I'll do it my way. I'm not.
Why do you
robot.
listen to them? Like if they don't like how the fucking dishes are done, they don't have to use your dishes.
Dude, this is just what living with a woman for 20 years is like. They become this.
I guess the context is marriage. I forgot.
Yes,
yeah, they become like women become miserable, right? They become just these miserable cunts.
If you just aren't married, from what I can tell.
It does, but like that's also another issue, right? And I mean, where like you don't want to be alone like your entire life. Like so, like what you kind of got to do, right? Is you kind of got to like fucking, you have to find a new dynamic, right? As a whole, right? It has to be like, hey, come help me with this. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, listen, let's go do this or whatever it is, right? You have to like fucking be together doing shit. You know what I mean? It can't just be one of you, right? Like that's just not how this works, right? You gotta like fucking like, you know, when she's over here doing the dishes, go pull her hair and smack her ass. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta like fucking be that person in that relationship, the both of you. You know what I mean? Like it has to go like both ways. You know what I mean? And it can't be like something that's forced. It can't be anything. Like that just has to be the dynamic. You know what I mean? And if that's like not the dynamic, then like it's just gonna end up being like, oh, you didn't do the dishes right. Oh, I'm fucking miserable. I don't know what to do. You know what I mean? Like you have to like, you know, be these type of people where it's like you really want to like always fuck each other constantly. You know what I mean? And like you enjoy each other's fucking company. It can't be just misery. Like that fucking shit's trash.
I hear you, but it's also rare, and conditions change. Like once they hit menopause, you're literally dealing with a different person in the same shell. Like it's like the skin remains, but the insides change.
I feel you. I feel you. Listen, we're gonna keep going to this video.
Really, I would personally, I would travel continents to avoid a lady like that. But what's your view of what she's saying?
To me, her rant, take away the gender for a moment, because I actually believe women are a lot messier than men, just in terms of our makeup, our clothing, the abundance of clothing that we have. I think we definitely purchase more accessories than men. And I think we also, like I said, there are gender roles I believe in should be responsible for most of the cleaning. Then on the other hand, if you're marrying a slob, A, you should know who you're getting into a household with. But B, if you're in a happy marriage and you have a sense of communication, why not just sit your partner down and be like, hey, I don't mind cleaning up after you, but when you throw your filthy socks on the bathroom sink or you leave your wet towel and we have mold, you know, I'd appreciate if you could not do this. But I don't think it gets to an extent where like divorce is justifiable unless your husband is like a hoarding pig that's unbearable to live with. I think she's being a little bit dramatic here. And we all can acknowledge women are a bit messier than men, and it should be just like looking after one another. It's not a big deal to clean up after your partner, and that could go both ways. Not everything is so black or white.
Andrew?
Well, first of all, stay-at-home moms are mostly nowadays parking their kids in public school for most of the day. Oftentimes, the kids are taking buses from the city to the school and buses home. They're not even driving them. Okay, not even driving them. And they have fully furnished lunch, even breakfast at most of these public schools, right? They don't even have to send them with a lunch anymore. They have all day to do household chores while men are working. Right? No, women do not do a disproportionate amount of work in comparison to men. That's absurd. No labor statistics supports that. Even if we were to take household chores and put it on the table against a man's work, doesn't even come close, even with children, especially because you're parking them most of the time in a public school for most of the day. This lady who's making this TikTok, totally insane, completely disconnected from reality, has no idea how this actually works.
She's not totally
Julie,
insane.
your response to
You're
that.
going to make a choice to marry a girl who is going to cook and clean and do everything. And me as a woman, I'm going to make a choice to hire a housekeeper one day so that I don't have to cook and clean.
Yeah, look, he's not wrong about like them parking the kids in fucking public school. You know what I'm saying?
They're both kind of right. Like she was being what I wouldn't have guessed more charitable about the situation. At least she's trying to approach it more fairly. But the real deal is that the limit of the shared tasks is her limit. I did dishes, I did fucking laundry when I had my own laundry to do, whatever. Obviously, I didn't touch her laundry because I don't know how to do that right, and I don't really give a fuck, like delicates and this, that, the other thing. Like, that's your problem. But do you think my wife was out there helping when I had to drop the gas tank and change the fuel fucking pump? You think she was out there, you know, swapping out the windshield washer motor or the fucking motor in the door when the power window wouldn't work anymore?
Yo, listen. So check this out. I had
and I'm okay with that.
Yo, I had a female who fucking let her use my fucking van or whatever, right? This is probably about like fucking, I don't know, like 4 or 5 months ago, back in like fucking December, January, some shit, right? And fucking it. She needed to replace the thermostat in the fucking the van. The thermostat in the van needed replaced, right? And I was like, listen, I'm not driving that car. Go fucking replace it. Like, you've literally been driving this fucking car for 7 or 8 months now, and you haven't changed the fucking oil. You haven't changed an air filter. You haven't changed the fucking spark plug. You haven't done anything for this fucking car, right? You haven't done shit. Even then, like, I'm still like paying for most of the gas in this motherfucker, right? And you need, like, she didn't even put insurance on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, nothing. She hasn't done anything with this fucking vehicle. Didn't get it inspected. Nothing, right? And so I was like, listen, go fucking fix it. You know what I mean? And she went outside and literally she fucked this motherfucker up so goddamn bad, right? That like literally like I had to go and buy like extra bolts and washers to get this motherfucking like thermostat set back in, right? Because like she just fucked the whole thing up and lost the goddamn bolts and shit, right? Like I ended up having to go outside and do it my fucking self and change the fucking oil myself and do all the shit my fucking self because like she's like, oh, I can do it, and then she couldn't. This is the reality of things. You know what I mean? Like, they don't go and help. They don't help because they can't, right? It's not about them not wanting to. You know what I mean? Like, even when they want to, they're fucking shitty at it, right? And, like, they don't take care of things, right? They don't fucking give a shit about, like, any of the stuff. They don't appreciate any of the things that they are given, right? This bro literally got in an accident in my fucking car and didn't fix it.
Yeah, it's par for the course.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And, like, that was one of the reasons I was like, you got to go. You know what I mean? Like, listen, I'm fucking done with this bullshit. Like, you don't appreciate my stuff that I'm letting you use, let alone, like, my fucking car that, like, fucking, you know what I mean? Like, you're driving around in. You don't appreciate anything I'm doing for you. That's the mentality.
By the way, just for context,
yeah.
Gorlock in the middle here has a roster of men that simp for her and buy her shit.
Oh, 100%.
The skinny blonde Jew has a rotation of like high value men.
Yep.
And none of them have anything to do with her except fucking her once in a while.
Yeah.
But she's winning. She's winning. Let's argue with the family, man. You see how we're kind of completely, utterly fucked?
I agree. Right. You know what I mean?
Who is we? Aren't they all Brits?
No. Just Pierce and the lesbian are Brits. The other two are American. Other three are Americans.
Oh, phenomenal.
Yeah.
West Coast at least.
The Jew girl I would place in New York, but I could also see her being in LA.
I mean, yeah, I would put her in New York or Washington D.C. One of the two. And Gorlock is probably from like
Minnesota.
No,
Ohio.
Maybe I was gonna say like Maryland, maybe. I don't know. Most definitely somewhere in the fucking suburbs.
I'm saying like gas station Matt Waltz here is probably from like Connecticut.
Wait, we can look up where he's from. I'm saying that's not like
I don't know
Gas
his name.
Station Matt Walsh.
Gas Station Matt Walsh. That is a great name.
I was gonna say Wawa, but
goddamn.
ooh.
Hey, Pease, where did Neurojack go?
He said he had a phone call to take.
All right.
I'm looking
probably
to
gonna
see
tap
like,
out
if he
myself
has.
because I gotta drive down south to see a chick.
Word.
Yeah, I'm looking to see.
By the way,
I don't think he has like
the
a
last
whatchamacallit.
Peace.
The last video you did, none of the Discord audio came up on the from the stream.
Yeah. I know it did later.
Okay.
Birth. Where's he from? And listen, where did Andrew Wilson? No. Paleo Christian. Don't. Yeah, it doesn't say where the fuck he's from.
I mean, I know he's mentioned it. I've seen this guy a bunch of times. He's mentioned it once or twice, but I don't know. Doesn't matter. Gas Station Matt Walsh it is.
Gas Station Matt Walsh. I agree. I don't know. Yeah, I can't figure out where the fuck he's from. I have no idea. I had to guess, I would say like Massachusetts or New Hampshire. If I had to fucking guess. Maybe Michigan. Most definitely like a northern white. Anyway, let's keep going.
Clean because that's my choice. The problem is you're too obsessed with other people's choices. Live and let live. Like, take a step back and recognize not everyone has to be as extreme as you are. Like, yes, women
live
should
and
cook
let live
clean,
till
but
it
if they're
comes
not
to the
perfect-
transgenders,
If they're not
huh?
perfect,
That's exactly what I'm saying. It's
I
crazy.
do live and let live.
till
I'll
it
play
comes
in
to
my
the
sport. I don't
transgenders.
care if you're transgender. I don't care if you're transgender.
Well, I don't understand.
Go for
It's
it. That's,
live and
I'm not
let
marrying
live.
a transgender.
Let them go play their
Let them
sports.
live and let live. Absolutely.
Live and let live. You people contradict
That's not
yourselves so
equality.
much.
That's their
It's
superiority.
Absurd. Yeah, it's
No,
not
I think you're
superiority.
just
What's
stupid
going on
because
right
I'm
now?
explaining myself and making
Yeah,
sense.
The explanation makes no
Let
sense.
me-
Transgenders
I saw
absolutely should live
Stacia
and let
wanting-
live. They should not participate in sports.
Let's
It's called a
Stacia.
boundary.
Let Stacia talk. Stacia, you wanted to say something?
You're just all walking contradictions. It's crazy that you can even say something like that. You guys are all fighting with each other about live and let live, and we're having an entire conversation about trans people and their ability or lack of ability to be in sports. So it's wild to watch him with the cigarette, like think he's all pompous, and you over there acting like it's just ridiculous.
Hey, I'm the only one here who is consistent. I said.
Yo, you know what that thing looks like? It looks like a female, a transgender version of Neffel.
I don't care if you people go in and beat the tar out of women. I don't care. Go do it. They voted for it. I think they need a taste of their own medicine. I think it's good for them. And maybe some of this madness will stop if they actually have to take accountability and deal with the consequences of their own voting.
You're actually insane. You're in
Stop.
your
I want to make it very
rage.
clear. I don't care that you're transgender. I genuinely don't care if today you're a woman, tomorrow you're a man, the next day you want to identify as a cat or a dog. I really don't. Like, it's not my issue. But when you make it my issue, when you want to play in my sport, I was a tennis player my whole life. If a man came along who identified as a woman, who I will respect as a woman, I will respect your pronouns, but you want to now eradicate women's sports, now it's my problem too.
Just
as long as
live
it's
and
not my
let
problem
live,
and you go
man.
do you, live exactly. Thank you.
Just live and let live, man. We'll just be hippies and
Okay, let me ask.
together
I
until
want
it
to
affects
end by
you.
asking Julie. Okay, I want to end by asking Julie, because Julie, you've been talking about feminism for decades. We're now in a place, a strange place, I think, where women have more freedom to do all the things that maybe previous generations of women did not have freedom to do. And many, including me, actually, think that's a very good step forward. The only downside to this is that birth rates around the world are beginning to plummet to dangerously low levels. And Elon Musk keeps warning that if they carry on like this, it's going to be a very, very serious problem for the future of the planet. So let me just ask you, Julie, when you look at the progress that feminism has made, you can see so many ways that women's rights have been promoted in a better way. But are you concerned about the dropping birth rates and the fact that women no longer, because so many more are going out to work and everything else and prioritizing work perhaps over family, that birth rates ultimately are obviously going to reduce, and that ultimately that could be a very self-defeating thing for the planet?
We need to pay attention to the fact that many women, when they have children, have no support, no childcare, feckless fathers who leave if they're there in the first place, where there is very little maternity leave, hardly any financial security, particularly if that woman is in an abusive relationship and can't rely on that second wage coming into the home. So have a look at what will make it more attractive and feasible for women to have.
We have fucking tried this. Every nation on earth has fucking tried this, right? Everyone gives women, like, how about we give men support? Can we do that? Can we help men, like, when women get pregnant, like when they're starting a family, can we go, hey, dude, listen, we're going to give you like a $30,000 grant or like a place, like a home, or, like we're going to fucking stand here and like fucking like eliminate your taxes, or we're going to give you time off, paid so you can spend time with your kid, right? Can we do any of these fucking things? Can we give dudes some fucking medical care? Can we do anything for men? Because I feel like we've tried everything we can to make women have babies. Can we help dudes? How about just eliminating child support? Maybe that'll help.
Sounds crazy. Let's not do that.
Like, have we ever tried like helping the other side of the equation of the people who make the fucking babies?
But that would allow women to not work and then GDP go down. So that's bad. We can't have numbers that we make completely the fuck up go down.
My brain. Fuck, I hate it so much. I hate it so fucking much.
I mean, it's pretty fucked up.
I fucking hate it. So my brain fucking fuck these people. I hate them so much. I fucking hate them. Like legit. Like fucking God. Like where's my meme? There's my meme. Fucking goddamn pieces of shit. Like listen. Like yo, for fuck's sake. Yo,
we had the Enlightenment. We had the Dark Ages, quote unquote. This is the era of cognitive dissonance. 100%.
I fucking know. Keep going.
Have babies, and also have a look at the women who are choosing not to have babies because they don't want to be hitched to and trapped with a man who, quite frankly, isn't the love of her life because of his behavior and because of his shortcomings.
Literally, women love dudes with bad behavior. I have seen more women stay with men who beat the shit out of them on a regular fucking basis, right, than I have women stay with dudes who treat them properly.
Hybristophilia.
I don't even know what the fuck that word means.
That's the word. That's the psychological condition. The name for that condition given. Women who are attracted to dangerous men.
You mean like normal people?
Yeah, like why is Charlie Manson fucking married while he was like serving out the life sentence? why were bitches like at the Ray Ramirez trial like trying to flash him up? You know, and he got love letters. Like, it's a real thing.
Yeah, listen, I mean, well, there is that. And then there's the other half. Like, you know, some of them are actually attractive. Like, I feel you.
That's what we need to be doing.
Okay, Stassi, I want to ask you a final question. Emily, I'll come to you and Andrew for final word in a minute. But Stassi, it just struck me as a question I wanted to ask you. How do you feel about drug cheats in sport? You know, when people are caught doping to enhance their performance, how do you feel about that?
Obviously, you know how I feel about that. You're baiting me to twist this around on the trans issue. And
I've no idea how you feel about it. I've never asked you. I've never asked you before. How do you feel about it?
Obviously, I'm not in support of people taking drug enhancements to do better in sports.
But why? Why are you not in support of that, given it just gives them an unfair advantage, which you want for trans athletes? What's the difference?
I see exactly what they're trying to do, and I'm not walking into it. It's very clear where my stance is with trans people. I don't support. I just think that you're trying to walk me into something, and it's not going to work for me.
So you don't
great
support
argument.
the
Now, I want to add a
enhancement
point.
of performance through illegal drugs. Okay, that's good. We're halfway there, I think. Emily.
Yeah.
Pierce, I just want to bring up a point that, and personally, I don't know the stats. I'd be very curious into looking into it, but I think it would be remiss to not mention the fact that many, many women, personally, I know a bunch, but I want to see the stats on it, are trying to have kids that are doing rounds of IVF, spending all of their money that they've saved up trying to have a kid, are infertile, are having miscarriages, never got their period. I think we also have a really serious health crisis going on, at least in the United States. I can't speak about the UK, that Bobby Kennedy is very well aware of, about hormones in the foods that are making it a lot harder for women to have children, because I know many, many women who would love to have a big, beautiful family, but can't even conceive their first child. So I don't know if it's necessarily everyone making a decision to not have kids, rather a health problem. And I'd advise everyone to look into that too.
It's totally absurd. So first of all, the reason they need IVF and things like this, because they defer families till they're in their 30s, right? It's not healthy for women to start having babies in their 30s.
No,
not a great idea.
that's not
Yes.
true.
Yeah, not only is it true,
I have
but
a 24-year-old friend who can't get pregnant.
I can statistically prove it. The exception doesn't make the rule. The truth of the matter is, you can even look at infant mortality rates. And in the United States, we have some of the highest in the world, and that is correlated directly to the fact that women are aged now, aged out of their 20s when they're having children. You can even see this in other nations as well. Back over to the TERF's argument, she says, well, wait a second, we should really be deferring to women and incentivizing women for more stuff that women want. We do this all the time. We defer to everything that is that they want. By the way, you have free tuition. You do get all sorts of free health care. And by the way, it's the poor people who have the most amount of children, not the middle class or the rich who do family planning. So this idea that you're just going to give the idea that you're just going to give women money and that's going, or some type of support in this way, and that's going to be what moves them towards children, is not true. Usually it's things like religion, religiosity, your key component to tradition.
Disagree. 100% disagree. Religion without culture is it's like having a fire sale without any goods, right? There's nothing there. You know what I'm saying? Like there's nothing to it. It's like a sandwich without meat, right? There's religion without culture is fucking garbage, right? It doesn't help anything.
Well, it's ritual. It's ritual is what it is. It's like ritual and a checklist of behaviors.
But like, listen, there's nothing to fucking like make those behaviors actually like fucking do anything. You know what I mean? There's nothing like holding it in place, right? So like back in the day when you had religion and like, you know, you weren't allowed to go to like, you know, fucking, you know, mass, right? And like you were excommunicated. That meant everybody couldn't do business with you, right? And if nobody can do business with you, then like you fucking starve to death because like all of a sudden now you either grow all your own food or you fucking, you know what I mean, you die. Right? Religion doesn't work. Religion is not a solution to this problem. It never has been a solution to this problem. It's community
It's not, but
and
it's
like
a patch,
structure.
because
It's not a
you're
patch.
right.
It is not a patch.
Well, it is if they're doing the right thing for the wrong reason. That's still a better outcome than you know, fucking Gorlock here in the middle, you know, preaching on a national platform about nonsense. Like that's a bad outcome.
No, but again,
This
it's
is
not
not
even.
great.
I know, but like, listen, religion isn't going to stop Gorlock.
New bumper sticker idea. Gorlock happens.
Based, right? This is not going to stop anything. Like, so when you have an economy that produces Gorlocks, because like Gorlock, you know, I mean, makes GDP number go up, right? And because Gorlock is a good office worker, religion is not going to help you. Religion will just literally make Gorlock part of religion, which it has. I have seen churches out in the boonies, in the middle of fucking nowhere, that have like fucking trans shit welcome on it.
And like trans pastors and, you know, the sermons are about like trans acceptance and all that. Yeah, the infiltration is real.
I mean, it's not the infiltration. It's literally like fucking the churches are a business, right? They got to put asses in seats. So they have to be as inclusive as possible. Religion is not going to stop this. You know what I'm saying?
Enter the argument for which is the true Christianity.
There is no true Christianity, bro. Listen, Christianity, like we had this argument last night. I got
know.
my
I
ass
was,
handed to
I was
me.
actually watching that. I didn't really want to like join that because it was a shit show.
Yeah, Walter fucked that up. Right. No, I mean, like, listen, I was trying really hard, like, bro, like, listen, you know what I mean? But, like, fucking machine came on and just fucking smacked me, right? Feel away about that. But, like, listen.
Oh, with the Plato thing?
Yeah.
That was just one thing, though.
I feel you. You know, I mean, I still feel the way about that. I literally downloaded fucking, like, Plato's fucking Republic and shit, you know, when I fucking, before I went to bed, right? I'm gonna listen to that shit tonight while I'm working, right? But, like, yeah, like, this nonsense of like thinking that religion is your solution to your fucking problem is fucking dumb. Not going to help. Right? I mean, like,
maybe it's
Islam,
it might be a stepping stone.
Islam
to your,
will help.
Community idea.
Islam will help.
Well, Islam is very strict.
And Islam
like, you don't
involves
have
the
a
community.
choice.
Islam involves
Yes.
the community, right? It's a whole
It
community
basically
structure.
basically forms a community around it.
Yeah. Right? Because, like, you know, you have to have halal butchers and shit, and like halal food, right? You have to like have like all these things. You do business with Muslims in certain ways, and you can't conduct usury, right? So therefore, like, literally, you can't like just, you know what I mean, buy shit whatever the fuck you want and go move elsewhere, right? You have to have family structures in order to be able to like fucking operate just as a human, right? So therefore, like, Islam will work, but like fucking Christianity never will, right? Christianity is
Islam.
like,
So
go ahead.
yeah, good.
Christianity is a losing
Islam
mission.
is like Islam is community for dummies.
Yeah, but
Like,
I mean,
you can't
like,
fuck it up,
the average person's a dummy is the issue.
which makes it perfect.
I feel you, right? So I mean, like, it's either A, we all convert to Islam, which, you know, I mean, like, I really like bacon. Really, really like bacon.
I like bacon, and I really don't want to like kneel 5 times a day. It's not my thing.
I'm fine with the
I'm
kneeling
still-
5 times a day. I have no issue with that. The bacon and the pork,
Really?
bro. Listen, like, yo, I will eat, like, I eat pork steaks fucking 4 days a week. You know what I mean? That's part of
Yeah.
my diet. You know what I mean? Because, like, beef is so goddamn expensive.
You know why? Well, one of the speculations as to why the pork is rejected.
I mean, desert people, pigs wallow in their shit and piss because, like, there's no water.
Unclean animal thing, yes, but also the other explanation is that pork is also known, or human flesh is known as long pork. The long pig is you know, the man,
Yeah.
and the pork flesh is the closest thing to human meat when you analyze it, right? So the theory goes is that they were a half breed created by mingling the genes of a man and a wild boar. You got the domesticated pig, so they consider it cannibalism. And the Jews do the same thing. Like, it's verboten in both, and they're both from the same area. So go figure.
I mean, they're both desert fucking religions. You know what I mean? Kind of where it's at. Let's finish this up.
Traditionalism, your idea of community, has nothing to do with family leave. It has nothing to do with that. Never has. The birth rate's been dropping like this, like a rock, especially since the 1900s, right? But even in the 1800s. But now, since birth control especially, and women's liberation, the sexual revolution, it has dropped so drastically, we can't even reproduce the population. These aren't answers. You're not answering any problems. None.
It's just because of men like you.
Okay.
Yeah, it's men because of men like me. I know. It's men like me. The ones who actually reproduce. It's because of men like me who actually reproduce. I get it. That makes sense.
So what do you suggest? Should women just start like
Can
walking
you
around
can you
getting knocked up?
reproduce? Do you
Like,
do you
I'm
even
so
have a
confused.
uterus to reproduce? Do you even have a uterus to reproduce? But anyway, what were you saying? I'm sorry.
No, I just don't understand. What do you think is the solution? Women should just like kind of settle in their young 20s and just start popping out babies, even if they haven't
No, that's
necessarily
exactly
met someone that's compatible for
I
them
thought,
yet, or
I
vice
thought you
versa.
weren't an anti-natalist language, popping out babies. Oh, they're slave to the stove, popping out babies. No, I think that from a societal view,
I don't do the language.
We can
that
have
bothers me.
I've got to go.
I'm
I'm
answering
really
your
late.
question.
I've got to go.
I'm answering your
Sorry,
question.
everyone.
All
I've
right,
got to
listen.
go.
You know what, Julie? Everyone's going to go because we've reached the end of the panel. The only sadness for me is we can't all go and have a drink together because I think we'd all get on great over a few.
Yeah, look, I would have punched Gorlock in the fucking face. I had a couple pints in me, to be honest with you.
Right.
But this has been Red Meat for the Carnivores. You know what I mean? I know every once in a while we got to do one of these. You know what I mean? Like, just so y'all motherfuckers continue to, like, watch the channel and it grows a little bit. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it is
Meat
what
back
it is.
on the menu, boys.
Meat's back on the menu, boy. Red Meat for the fucking Carnivores. So, I mean, I guess that's where it is. Like, Mountain, thank you. Neurojack, thank you. Fucking Cappy, thank you for stopping by. You know what I'm saying? It's always appreciated and shit. I'm going to shut this bitch down. You know the deal. Peace be like.